scripts. For now, it's time for us to welcome the YouTube audience. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. NODWIN Valorant Challenger South Asia, and Flabin once again is on the stage. And okay, now he seems like now he looks in a good mood, and this is what we like to see. That's the Flabin we know.
He seems like he hasn't slept all day.
Yeah.
For some reason. And that's a bad sign for Aster. That probably means they've been staying up all night preparing for this match, reading up on whatever Aster like to do and coming up with the counters. And if that is the case, well, we're gonna have a cracker of a game on our hands.
Well, I mean, it can also prove out to be a good sign or a bad sign too, because as an esport athlete, you need to have enough amount of sleep. So it can also prove out to be either good or bad. But hey, the future is going to speak for itself, and we're going to let it speak for itself, because so far, Hirsch and Kohli are on the stage. Speaking about Hirsch, this man has been so good throughout Reckoning Esports' journey. I think he's got like MVP 2 times.
Well, I don't remember how many times he got the MVP, but I definitely remember him being on the interview panel once. So that was during the group stage, and then another time during maybe the playoffs. So yeah, I think he's been the MVP twice, maybe even thrice. I can't exactly remember. My memory doesn't serve me that well. But Hirsch, he's got better memory than I do, and he remembers every single move his opponents play.
Okay, so basically I saw Voya signing 2-0 when he entered on the arena. So let's see if it's going to be a 2-0 affair or not. As I said, it's all going to come down to the map veto, man, because so far the map of split's been proven out to be a huge kryptonite for Reckoning Esports. So hopefully we're going to be seeing at least a new change in the split, or we're going to be seeing that map being completely banned out, because if that's banned out, then it's of course going to give Reckoning Esports a huge sigh of relief, and they should have a chance to ban it out as well. But that means they will need to leave that comfort pick to ban that split map.
I do hope that for the sake of Reckoning Esports, split isn't on the cards. They were not that great against Orangutan when split was picked up. So if Aster do manage to pick up split, I think they can guarantee get that map in their hands. Can't really say the same for Reckoning Esports. Going into this map veto, we need to remind you guys that these teams have indeed they have faced each other before, so they need to be wary of those results as well. The last time they faced each other, Reckoning Esports lost split 13-6, and this would be their first split loss. They would go on to lose split once again later on in the tournament, so split definitely seems to be a weak part for Reckoning. But the next map that they faced each other on was Icebox, and Reckoning have always been the kind of team that experiments a lot on Icebox, and Aster was able to overcome that.
Yeah. I mean, they've taken the seats, but man, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like how Reckoning Esports is looking, man. They're having quite neutral faces, and this is not what we're used to see. Usually Flabin's laughing, usually was having a good time as well on that stage, but this time it's not the case. Moving on forward and taking a look at the map veto. Finally, the secret's about to be revealed, and yes, Reckoning Esports go for that split ban, but Aster Army, quite an interesting ban on that fracture map, but Aster will instantly go ahead and pick up the map of Ascent. For Reckoning Esports have been looking pretty good so far, so that's quite an interesting pick.
Ooh, look at this one. Ascent? It seems like a very neutral map, so it doesn't really surprise me, but Lotus, now that's definitely a surprise. Historically, Lotus has not been that great for Aster, so this seems like a targeted pick. Aster lost against True Rippers 13-5 the last time they faced on Lotus.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, we're seeing some target bans and some target picks, so that's a good news. But from Aster Army, I highly doubt how this Ascent pick's gonna work out. Maybe they have realized, they have read the strategy book of Reckoning Esports, but if Reckoning Esports, they've got something new prepared on Ascent, then I'm quite worried for Aster Army, that's for sure. We're soon enough, we're going to be moving forward to the map of Ascent. Haven's going to be the decider, and Ascent is definitely going to be a close matchup. Reckoning Esports' run on this map has been quite phenomenal, and for Aster Army, this map has been proven out to be quite decent. Moving on forward and taking a look at the agent select, this is going to matter quite a lot. I highly doubt we're going to see any of those new cards being pulled out.
I don't think the agent selection is going to have too many surprises for us. Maybe they switch up the roles with each other, but they're not going to switch up the actual composition itself. That is most likely going to stay the same. And keep in mind that Ascent is neutral ground, so none of these teams can really call it home. we know about one trick that Deadly likes to use a lot, and that is dashing in from B main to markets. But I'm pretty sure that Aster Army is also aware about this one, so I wonder how they'll counter it.
Oh yeah. If they've been watching the English broadcast, they're probably aware of that strategy. But last time, if you remember, against OG, they tried to switch it up. They sent Deadly 10 inside market, but then instead of going towards the tree side, they made their journey on the B side, sort of just fiddling with the enemy's mind, playing with the enemy's mind. But moving forward, we're going to be stepping inside the map of Ascent, where Reckoning Esports are going to be on the defending side and Aster Army on the attack.
Let's get this match underway, ladies and gentlemen. Both these teams are fighting for their tournament lives, and this is as high as the stakes get.
Right here.
One of these teams will go home, and Aster Army might just be that team if Reckoning Esports are able to clobber them. Look at this stack up from Reckoning. 5-man B push right off the start. And Aster Army, they luckily avoid this.
Luckily, it's a good word, but Flabin, all by himself, was able to get away with a kill. That's a good find from Flabin. Aster Army, they've got the site control, but still, they don't really have the man advantage, so it's all going to come down to this post plan. They'll need to try and play this flawlessly. All the players are now going to straight up just burst inside the site, and Coley's got way too many players to try and deal with. Deadly 10 was able to find one of his own, but Reckoning Esports, the trades are starting to happen back and forth, and now we're down to a one-on-one scenario. Dominic, all the way in under heaven area. Voya sort of soften up, only down to 45 HP. Sends in a recon dart. Now he knows Dominic's all the way under heaven. Will peek out. Will not be able to win that duel, and Dominic seals the deal. And also a little to BM.
Dominic, what a chaotic way to start this game. Aster Army got somewhat lucky that they avoided Reckoning Esports right off the start of the game. They managed to get the spike down, but then they did not have enough time to get into post-man positions. It was a good opening from Flabin, who managed to even snap out of danger, but then as they all flooded into the site, Aster Army held on.
No charges.
Well, that was just
Revealing area.
quite a good way to start the pistol round. It was quite close, so you can't exactly call that a win. So even if Reckoning Esports try to go for a force, I wouldn't be surprised, but they're seldom the kind of team that does it.
Okay, this time quite an aggressive approach towards B main. They've got the guns advantage, but Voya was at least able to get one before he went down. And that's a 1-for-1 trade in the favor of Reckoning Esports, considering they don't even have the superior weaponry, but still managing to get kills like that. Deadly 10, able to get one and instantly dash away. And now he's going to keep on making sure that the bodies are hitting the floor. A one-on-one scenario where Coley doesn't even have the amount of HP to support him. And Deadly 10 retrieves a bulldog in the hand. Give him a huge advantage, because now he's getting capitalized from the back lines. He's got no clue, and Coley, he makes the move against him. Deadly 10, a little bit lost in that scenario.
Coley could not afford to lose that fight. A single bullet and he would have been dead. He was dead to rights over there, having a foot in the grave already. But he pulls one right from the dirt. And Reckoning, despite the heroics of Deadly 10, he cannot complete the magic trick. Aster Army hold on to their pistol advantage.
(2-0) already. Aster Army off to an okay start, but that was a decent eco from the enemy team as well. Light armor's on the board for them. Wink is going to straight up dash in, trying to catch the operator, but he was instantly denied as well. All the players are stacked up outside main, and Master somehow able to find those peaks. Deadly 10 misses that shot. Could have been a crucial one too. They were able to stroll on the site. Doors being shut down as well on the faces. Dominic doesn't really have a lot of HP to support it, but at least they've got the site control, and that's all that matters. Soon enough, the spike should go down as well, and Kishi has found himself in that tricky spot. Docs are all the way in main. He will try to play off of the post plant, but the rest of his teammates are stuck on the site.
Oh, this is a very risky angle for Dominic, but he's okay with it. He lines them both up. He did not even see Voya. He just kind of got him for free. And now Dominic continues to pop off. What kill for the Yeoman as he destroys Reckoning's momentum.
Reckoning Esports, their momentum. Yeah, you talked about this, man. They really needed this round in the hand. The previous round went so close, and now they just lose out on the bye round completely. Reckoning Esports Talk about the morals being shattered and getting caught off guard like this. Dominic playing that aggressive angle. No one expected him to be there. And Reckoning Esports just getting caught off guard.
You could see how much counter utility Reckoning were trying to throw at them. It was great the way that they were able to get opening picks. Master almost got them a two-man advantage. And then as soon as Aster Army tried to go for the plant, there was a ball breakage in the way, which kind of forced them to plant deeper, making it not nearly impossible to defend from main. There were even shock darts thrown at the planter to stop it. But all of that did not help. Oh, flapping. Could have had a big headhunter on his hands, but the moment he gets suppressed, he's relegated to a classic. Easy frag. He can't fight back.
Yeah. Deadly compromised. And this time it will push on up. Goalie is the man who was able to get another one. Master once again. Aster being taken down out of the game, and Aster Army, they're really able to sniff out these lurks. Deadly 10-2 put to sleep. Woya, the last man up and alive. Maybe he will be able to catch Wink off guard, but he won't. Wink will shut him down. Another flawless round in the hands of Aster Army. They're starting to run away with the lead now, 4-0.
Yeah, this is starting to get scary. If Reckoning lose this one, then there's going to be a tactical timeout called. So far, Aster Army have been moving fearlessly, and they have been playing very stylishly too. They've managed to keep a lot of their players alive, which also means they don't need to reinvest into their weapons, and this snowballs their economy out of control. So Reckoning not only have to beat Aster Army in a round, they also have to do it in a way where they keep most of their own guns alive. Otherwise, in the long run, Aster Army will still come out on top with the economic battle.
Nowhere to run!
Get out of my way!
Oh, the Hunter's Fury is starting to cause a lot of problems, and Coley somehow finds two. Reckoning Esports, how are the bodies falling down all the time at Aster Army? They're really able to punish them. Things are starting to work out in their favor, and Reckoning Esports are forced to save once again. You talked about a tactical timeout, and it will be called now. It's a 3-on-5. No chance Reckoning Esports get their hands on the side back once again. We'll need to go for the save, and that's what they're exactly doing. Look at how disciplined Aster Army are playing this one, too. Their drone didn't spot anyone, so now they know that they are probably on a save. Dominic's all the way in the back lines. He might just be surprised as soon as he walks in the spawn, but he's going to try to hunt all the way down mid. He's got no clue where the players are positioned. Deadly 10's got the operator in the hand. If anyone steps in his crosshairs, he will meet the makers.
But that's okay. I don't think Aster Army mind meeting those makers. Nice shot from Deadly. Flick upwards. That must have broken his wrist. No, they can't take the orb back in their hands. Wait, can they? No, that's a big loss.
Reckoning Esports, things are starting to fall down. Woya, as he walked out on the arena, he showed his fingers off 2-0. And so far, Aster Army are able to run away with the lead. I mean, it's just the first 5 rounds, not a lot can be said, but still those 5 rounds can really start to be a nightmare as the tournament or as the game progresses on forward.
That's true. And this time it wasn't even that Reckoning could do much. The Hunter's Fury was just too good. You don't often see a single Hunter's Fury get 2 frags. Most of the time it doesn't even get frags. It's used to break lockdowns or stuff like that. And then he got the 2 players who were on the A site. Nobody else from mid could get there in time. And Aster Army get the site for free. The Blade Storm was popped. Flashes were thrown to set up the Jet for kill, but the Jet didn't get to see anyone. The Sova just murdered them all in cold blood without even seeing his opponents. All he saw was a red outline. And now Reckoning see nothing but red.
Hunter's Fury is available, and even a null command's available in their hands of Reckoning Esports, so let's see how it's gonna look like. But this time, Reckoning Esports, considering they've got some broken buys, Sheriff San Vando's on the board. The motive for them has to be to win this out. Dominic teleports back because he knows his position was compromised. Really smart maneuvering.
Yeah, any later and the fragment would have caught him. But this time, Wayne catches Flab, and again, he's been having a rough time in this game. Dead continues to push the envelope. Even Master's there along with him. There's just one gun in this game, and it's on Voya. Most of the time, Voya has never been smoked off from this region to get a lot of kills. He's a very strong anchor towards this B defender spawn region. But this time he doesn't get to see any of his enemies. Aster Army getting the site scot-free, and if things start to go sideways, there's even a lockdown available on Doxa.
You should run.
Oh, lockdown utilized as well, and a lot of times being barred off in the initial phase of the spike plant. Aster Army, things are really starting to fall in pieces for them. On the other hand, Reckoning Esports not able to get the grip on what exactly Aster Army trying to bring. One thing is for sure, they have prepared quite thoroughly for this map, and so far the preparation's working out in their favors. Look at these duels that they're taking, and they're able to win every single duel that they're taking as well. Especially that Flabin move being countered. They know that Flabin pushes up deep into B main, and this time they were able to counter that.
Flabin always likes placing that trademark, I'm sorry, not the trademark, the rendezvous right across the mouth of B. And since it extends into B main, he hugs the wall and tries to creep forward. They were aware about this. It's one of the only plays that Chamber can make really safely after the nerf. So Aster Army read that. Deadly 10 was always, I'm sorry, not Deadly 10, Wink was always there to intercept him. And then, as the lockdown is placed, they know that Reckoning can't use the Hunter's Fury because they would much rather save it for a buy round. So Doxa can use it without having to worry about it being broken.
Reckoning Esports are just getting countered. That's all I can say. Aster Army, man. They have really managed to read this team like a book. Look at Flabin. In an interesting angle. Might be spotted out soon enough. His crosser is trained. As soon as someone's decide to walk out of that spot, there's a high chance Flabin will try to take you down. The turret's not going to spot him, so it gives him a little bit of a more advantage. With that shoulder peek, the position's compromised. Flabin will need to fall back. And that's what he exactly does. Kishi's managed to find himself all the way in the catwalk, but not able to get the sight lanes on the player. Flabin still able to just position himself on the site, and look at the positioning Aster Army have taken.
And they're just towards the site. They haven't even entered the water. Nowhere in a position to plant.
This is so
Meanwhile,
smart.
Wink is creating a distraction on the A site, and he's drawn away the rotations. It's just Flabin left on the B site now. There's no way he can survive this all by himself. He can get 1 or 2 kills, but even that looks difficult with his eyes closed.
This is
Wink
just
played them
smart.
like a fiddle. Yeah, really smart, dude.
Aster Army, 200 IQ plays, big brain plays. They know exactly how Reckoning Esports plays. And they're able to counter them like they're reading them like a textbook. Wink with the flank was able to at least force out the rotations a little bit, but that helped them more than enough. And now look at Wink, this man's on a prowl, on a hunt. Was able to get away with one more. And Aster Army, they're now on the bloodthirst. They're on a hunt. Reckoning Esports, on the other hand, though, they're getting gifted with these kills. And Aster Army still extending themselves because Aster Army is just way too confident. They've got a lot of rounds lead, so they can't afford to give away 1 or 2 rounds, right? And that's what the game plan is over here. Aster Army still moving up forward, trying to capitalize, but hopefully he's not going to extend even more. He does, but the gun's taken away. It's completely fine. They've got a lot of cash in the bank.
Yeah, Aster Army, almost all their players are north of 7,000. In fact, some of them even have 9,000. They've got max money. So Aster really has nothing to worry about in this map. But Reckoning, on the other hand, every single gun they lose is one that they have to repurchase again. And especially when their economy is looking this shabby, it's a death sentence. At least the big gun is still online. At least Deadly still has the op. Everyone else just has to chip in the best way they can. Guardians, Vandals, Spectres, sometimes even the Tour de Force when you've got nothing else.
This is starting to look out really scary. Deadly 10, he thought he might be able to catch someone off guard, but instead he's the one who gets nullified instantly. Look at Wink just dashing in forward. At least there was a trade from Kishi, but it's still the man advantage in the favor of Aster Army. And look at these peaks they're able to find. Just getting out-aimed, not able to win those duels. Master is trying his best to hold on to mid, but the A site's gone now. It's a 3-on-2.
Not ready yet.
The reason Deadly pushed out towards the B-Link region because he thought that Flabin was scouring him towards top mid, but then Flabin got suppressed, and now there's no more Tour de Force. Flabin couldn't fight, and Deadly was way out in the open. Wink tried to go for a reflank. Master reads it. 2v2. These are the best odds that Reckoning have had in a while, but Dominic just does not care. It's the second time he's pushed out to its A heaven and got a double kill. And he does it again and again.
This man's popping off. He's been getting so many 3Ks and 4Ks. It's honestly impressive. Look at the amount of kills. 13-3 is his KD. 13-3. This man is on a monstrous mode right now. And look at the amount of economy they've managed to stack up as well. They're looking stacked up. They're looking really rich. On the other hand, look at Reckoning Esports. The complete opposite.
Yeah, their faces. They barely have an indent anymore. Smiles fading away. Oh no, Master got detected. At least he can get one frag as a consolation. Harsh is getting cornered by both the sides. He can't stay on the site. It's not just the Jet that's dashed in. Even Dominic has teleported inside.
Give me those back.
Finally, a glimmer of hope as Deadly's flank is successful. Goalie's Hunter's Fury was denied, and Voya caught one in his... He can actually get one frag, but Dominic is pushing out yet again. He avoids the drone, but Harsh is there to guard.
Yeah, this time Hirsch knew that he's going to push out. Perfectly done. Nicely played around with. And now they're also getting pushed on forward by the main Aster Army. So far, they're being crunched out, and Voya able to capitalize from the back. Aster Army, they finally lose out a round. And Reckoning Esports able to get one round in the hand. Now, this can also prove out to be a momentum breaker as long as the half is 8-4. Reckoning Esports are chilling. Unless a 9-3 curse can also come true, because yesterday we saw that happen.
Could also be in goal, doing much better odds. I'm not the superstitious kind, but hey, Reckoning needed to play aggressively. They've been waiting to make moves all this time, and now that they were finally able to do so, they catch the Sova in the middle of his ultimate. Kohli died without a trace of a kill. Dominic tried to go for those aggressive heaven peaks again, but this time he was countered. Reckoning were aware. They've switched up positions now. The Jet laying on mid and Flabin hitting B instead. Deadly's op hasn't been detected yet, but that's because Aster Army are not willing to make moves on mid yet. You've only got Kohli jump spotting top mid. And now as Kishi tries to peek out of B heaven, sorry, the B link area, he's gonna do it on the back of a flash. Op position given away. Deadly can't see anything because of the smoke, and they will most likely not contest him. If Reckoning try to defend the A side, they will have to take control of A main. They can't afford to stay on the side. They're gonna get crunched otherwise.
Look at how deep Wink is pushing up mid. He's able to find some sort of map advantage over here for his team. But Aster Army, they're just waiting together. That was a really good paranoia to at least try and nullify the push for a bit more. And Dominic will be falling back too, but Reckoning Esports, they're quite adamant into pushing up. Doxer's caught the operator in the hand. Won't be shut down this time. And it seems like finally Reckoning Esports are able to read into the strategy book of Aster Army. The counter strats from Aster are not working out anymore, but the shot from Wink is interesting. Deadly knows that was a fake cloudburst.
Yeah, this time the presence from Aster Army a little off. Timing not that perfect. They had Wink trying to go up towards mid, and when he failed, when he was detected by the chamber trademark, his team tried to make their move towards the A-shot region, which was a very obvious indication. So Deadly 10, he left mid, decided to peek towards tree, and he was perfectly positioned to stop that push. Got two of them.
Oh man, having some heavy talking being done, and really want to know what sort of talking, what sort of calls are being made over here. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys do want to have a chance of winning those Valorant points, you guys can always go on forward and scan the QR code and go to the Hindi stream, and you guys will have a chance to win that giveaway. But you guys can stick around with us and have a lot of fun in this entire matchup that's going on so far. So far, it's looking quite an one-sided affair, but finally, Reckoning Esports, they're able to clinch their fists together.
Clench their fists together and hopefully connect to the face of Aster Army. Maybe even the chin if they want to go for a knockout blow. But Aster Army, now their money is starting to run out. Luckily, we're already at round 11, so even if they lose this one, they have just enough to buy the next round. And they're saving up a little. They've purchased Spectres instead of going for the Phantoms and Vandals, which is fine, you know, because at that close range, the Spectres can also cause a lot of havoc. I'm surprised there aren't any judges in play.
Boya,
No
what?
way.
Oh, able to find 2 with that spam, and then Deadly 10 as well gets away with 1 with the operator. Flabin's holding an off angle. He's just waiting for someone to peek out of that angle. He's holding quite a close angle too. The crosser placement's there. Maybe the kill as well will fall through. Shotgun was out to try and destroy the trap. Flabin gives away his position. He's holding quite an off angle. And Aster Army, they know he's in the close quarters, so they do not really want to fall prey to him. Instantly TP's back all the way to market. Doesn't want to challenge the fight anymore. And Aster Army, they're down to just a 2-man squad. Now they're starting to get countered quite hard.
Oh, the tiny gap. Dominic hit the switch. The door was about to close. But Deadly was still primed over there. Totally detected. Reckoning finally win around by a good margin. They keep the guns alive, and this means they'll have all the weaponry they need going into the last round of this half.
And now finally the economy is starting to look a little bad for the opponents, Aster Army, because they've lost out rounds back to back. But this spray from Boya, so perfect. Was able to get 2 free kills and a flawless round too. Reckoning Esports, as I said, now they're really starting to find those counters. Broken buys on the side of Aster Army. It is the last round of the first half, so you might as well try to get as many guns or whatever type of utilities on the board if you can, if you've got the credits to do so. And these broken buys are not going to help him out a bit, but that scan was only able to get 1, so they know that Wink is there, but they don't know that the rest of the team is there too.
Yeah, recon dots exchanged on either side. And Vink usually plays a little away from his team, so this might just give Reckoning Esports the wrong idea about Aster's intentions.
Ooh!
Oh my goodness! Deadly going bird hunting. Plucks off Vink from the sky. And he wants more. He wants to impale them down to the ground. Dominic could have had a nice little exit over there, but he decides to continue staking onwards, even though he's got a lot of utility headed towards him. Aster Army quite adamant on heading mid, and that's the price they have to pay for trying to venture into this region.
Yeah. And Reckoning Esports, they're now starting to win their aim duels too. Something that they should have done before as well, but it seems like they just needed to buy a little bit more time. The back lines are completely covered by the lockdown too. So being safe in that back line is definitely going to be a little tough. They'll need to try and fall back, getting detained too. Aster Army, that was a perfect lockdown to try and gain their control back on the site. Dominic gets traded out through the smoke, and Master now is starting to pop off. Voya and his teammates, still 4 of them, so that's a good news. But they're going to start to capitalize.
Oh, that was quite a mistake. Spike dropped in the open. Doxer's forced to fight this one, and Reckoning can claw their way back at 8-4. Quite a good recovery. Not the half that they would have expected, but hey, winning 4 rounds in a row to avoid a disaster like that, I think that's the best that Reckoning can ask for, given the situation.
I mean, so far, Reckoning Esports, at least they have been able to stop the momentum. That one single round that they found has proven out to be the momentum breaker, and they have managed to get an 8-4 half. But Crips, this upcoming pistol round is going to be dictating everything. If you win the pistol round, that means another upcoming round should be pretty much free for you, because you will be on an anti-eco. So already 10 rounds racked up. So this pistol round, if Aster Army is able to win, they will have 10 rounds. But if Reckoning Esports wins this is going to be a lifeline. With that being said, it's time for us to push to a short break. Don't go anywhere. After this break, we'll be back with the second half.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Can't for my wings, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
welcome back into the second half for the first match of the series between Reckoning Esports and Aster Army. So far, Aster Army do have the lead, but Reckoning Esports have managed to gain some sort of momentum over Aster Army as they have won 4 rounds back to back. But this pistol round is it's all gonna boil down to. Let's see who's gonna be able to win this one.
Aster Army had quite a good amount of map control while they were playing in the first half. And Reckoning tried to fight mid very often, but they would often leave Flabin in a situation where he would get suppressed and he would not have access to Chamber's tools. And then with weakened weaponry, he would have no chance. This time, yet again, the 0 point goes out, but it doesn't detect anyone. So Reckoning have not been able to find too much value out of the KO. Their Sova utility has been on point though, so good for Kohli. As well as good for you, or good for Uya.
Yeah. A good scan. Was at least able to detect some presence, but Reckoning Esports, they're going to start to fall back on the A side. Still, Aster Army don't exactly know where the hit's coming through, so they're quite prepared. But there are 3 players towards the A site. Smokes inbound. Deadly 10's going to dash in. Deter is causing a bit of more issues. Fragment tossed on over towards the tree side, making sure there's going to be no rotations as quick as possible. Deadly 10 on the other hand is managing to find Doxer on the side. That's a huge pick. Kills are taken out of the game. This should be now a clean plant for them. You go for the plant. Aster Army still just looking for the back flanks and all that stuff, but Reckoning Esports, they're already ready with the post plants.
Yeah, Reckoning have good positions. Flabin taking off goalie's head. Lovely peek. The one-way smoke is good, but Kishi crushed his barge out of it, resulting in his death.
Wow.
And the remaining members of Aster Army, as they try to waterfall out of heaven, they will just fall to the ground. Reckoning with the pistol win have at least secured a little bit of momentum for themselves.
It's looking like a whole new Reckoning Esports. I guess they're now able to shake off those jitters too. As we said, Ascent has been quite a solid map for Reckoning Esports, but with the way this map started, it felt like Aster Army had really a good read on the opponents. But now Reckoning Esports, they're starting to win these rounds. They're starting to win those duels, and that's something that's keeping on boosting their morals up. On the other hand, Aster Army, they're really losing this cushion that they had. 8-5 is the score. They don't have the cushion anymore. So now the room for error is quite low as well.
Surprisingly slow start from Reckoning. But then again, it's understandable because Aster Army are the ones who are on an eco. And Reckoning don't want to run into a trap. No stacks shown. Maybe Aster Army would have gone for a mid push like Reckoning often do when they don't have much weapons to work with. But so far, Aster Army are also keeping it clean. No early engagements. So this really is Reckoning just playing super cautiously.
Revealing area.
Reckoning Esports,
Shock dart. Shock
they're
dart.
gonna start to move in inside the sites. Good 0 point, but that was able to detect the presence, but a little bit too late. Flabin was already on his way to the site. Aster Army, they don't really have the superior weaponry. They've only got the classics. They have managed to save completely, and Voya's going to catch one player off guard, but they have got a clue that Voya's in the back lines, and somehow Dominic wins that duel against Voya. With only a classic in hand, was able to out-aim the IGL of the opponent team. We don't exactly know if he's the IGL or not. I think so. It's Hirsch, right?
The IGL, yeah, it is Harsh.
Yeah.
So in a 4v4 like this, Reckoning Esports are playing in a very standoffish fashion. You see Reckoning members, they're not actually playing from the site, they're all just huddling outside of it. Some of them trying to lurk into its defender spawn already, meanwhile Deadly is just trying to make contact towards B main.
Yeah.
They're just making sure that Aster Army don't camp them outside of the site and try to steal their weapons with exit frags.
Oh no, Aster Army, they're just gonna die over here. So what they're doing over here is that they're also denying those extra credits and also those ultimate points. So this is quite brilliant from Aster Army. Even if they're not able to get those exit frags, at least they will just pretty much kill themselves and make sure that the opponent's not getting the enough amount of value with that anti-eco round. So a decent round from Aster Army, but still not something that they can rely on. Now they need to win this upcoming round where we're seeing Kohli pulling out that Odin.
Odin's out on play. You better watch out now. I guess that kind of solidifies Goldie's position towards the P site. Doxer now placing his KJ utility. Both alarm bots stationed right outside B main, but both not alarm bots, both nano swarm stationed right outside B main. Pardon me, and the alarm bot itself is going towards mid. No human presence over there. Instead, Aster Army are doubling up towards a shot where this area is about to turn into a bloodbath. Good shot by Wink, but Kishi doesn't follow up. Kishi doesn't trade.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Kishi... Oh, man. Guess he was smoked off there.
No, the smoke just came in now.
Oh. I don't know why he did that. I mean, considering the opponents are just defaulting and now every single player is just going to start to move up forward, but they might just meet with a surprise. Dominic's towards Winery. He's got the crosshairs trained. He's also going to try to utilize the smoke soon enough, and that smoke should give his position away. They've got a clue that Dominic's in the back lines. He was able to find one. A good paranoia to try and close stuff out. He will be managing to get one. The second one will be denied, but still, at least he got 2 kills for himself. And now they've also got the man number neutralized, so that's the good news for Aster Army. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Both the teams on equal ground.
Planted.
This Odin can lay waste to anyone who's playing close to the door, and that's gonna be Flab in this round. He better not get caught. A spam almost connecting.
It's again with the recon.
Player standing.
Will be falling back, and now it's a 2-on-3 scenario. Aster Army able to win those duels and make it. There's just the one last man alive. Hirsch on the site, and he will be capitalized as well. Decapitated from the game. Reckoning Esports, they have lost 1 round after a long time. And now this can't prove out to be their momentum breaker, but let's see how they're able to recover from that loss right there. Opponents did have the superior weaponry. On the other hand, the Reckoning Esports team was just on a complete bonus round, so in the upcoming round, they will definitely have the money to buy the guns, but still, this one single loss can prove out to be a huge momentum breaker, and just that confidence, that little touch of confidence Aster Army needed.
Just a tiny touch. A smidgen, if you may. Now, once again, Aster Army, they've changed their mid setup. This time, look at how many players are present over there. It's not just the Killjoy, but also the KO playing over there. Plus, there's a Nano Swarm too.
Yeah.
The KJ Util is actually split between B main entrance and mid. And I think I can tell why. So, Reckoning tried to walk up mid, and if they detect the alarm bot and the Nano Swarm, they will assume nobody else is playing over there. Because why else would you have an alarm bot and a person marking the same space? And that's when Aster Army will peek out and try to bamboozle Reckoning.
It's quite interesting. They did go for the duel. Deadly's taken down only to 10 HP, and even Wink's quite soften up, so both the players are down to critical HP. And now they're going to try to make their way on the side as well, trying to brute force their way in. Dominic knows there's someone on top of the generators, but the rest of the teammates are now going to capitalize. Kishi from the top was able to find one, but Reckoning Esports' firepower is looking unstoppable. Aster Army on this retake, they're now going to start a sweat. It's a 3-on-4, man advantage in the hands of opponents. Doxer trying to regroup with his teammates, and all 3 of them are going to try to chime in from the heaven area. Really tense position compromised, and this man is still able to stay alive with only 11 HP. Flabman was able to shut down the approaching man, but Aster Army, this retake's now looking like next to impossible, but maybe if they're able to find fracks like these, then that's definitely possible. Goalie ult by himself, and he will be able to shut down the last man as well. How did this just flipped over?
It's because you jinxed them, buddy. It's because you did. Aster Army hit all their shots, turn a 2v4 into a 2v2, and then come out on top of it. The shots were absolutely insane. You take a look at that in the replay and you'll see bodies just hitting the floor at a rapid pace.
Last player standing. 1 enemy remaining.
This was not something we saw coming, man. We thought it should be an easy round for Reckoning Esports, but instead Aster Army were able to flip the switch and flip the tables. And really just came out on top in that scenario. Wink in the back lines. With the help of his teammates, with the support of his teammate. Kishi. Both of them, there's 3 players who've pushed up. At least for now, they know that there's only Sova available. Aster Army, they're going to respect that presence, and they'll fall back But all they know is that only Sova was present towards main, but they don't know the rest of the two players are there too.
Look at this double stack towards main. While the Sova is actually pulling all the utility, the Jet dashes away, distracting them from Kishi. What a perfect bait setup. Wink dashed away just in time, and he distracts everybody from Reckoning to look outside towards the B site. Nobody looked at Kishi. And that's how you get the frags. But hey, one life to get the A side under control, I think that's a good price to pay. A good trade-off. KG will avoid it, so now Reckoning can continue planting.
Cover going out.
Yeah, Hirsch able to teleport on the side with the Omen's ult from the shadows. But still the man advantage is in the hands of Aster Army. So far they've been able to win out these retake scenarios. Hunter's Fury utilized. Deadly 10 manages to find or at least nullify the man advantage so far. Hirsch is down only 2 HP. It's hard to say if he's going to be able to survive this entire prowl that Aster Army is going to try to pull off onto him. Wing peeks out, manages to find one. Hirsch able to retaliate back. Two of his own being found, and Dominic not able to win out that duel. It's all down to Coley now. One man on a mission and will be taken down.
Sheesh, that crossfire towards door was so strong. One of them was low, so it stands to reason that they'll swing him first, but then Master gets the two of those frags in a succession. That's understandable. And then the third one, which is absolutely absurd. Now that's Reckoning for you. That's what they needed. They will have a lot more ultimates online if Deadly and Master get a kill each. Just 1 point each away from their ult. Flabin already has the two of their force. That's why you see him with a shorty and nothing else.
You want to play? Let's play.
Oh, Vandal in his hands. It's quite an interesting angle. Reckoning Esports, they have been using that so far to hold the push from the A main.
Take flight.
Huge fan of that. Reckoning Esports taking things quite slow once again, just relying on that defaulting and letting the opponents make a move, trying to make sure that they're probably being desperate to find those early picks. But Aster Army, they're playing quite disciplined. They have got a 3 rounds lead, which they can definitely rely on. But this eco, the main intentions of this eco has to be either, if possible, put some more dents on the opponent's economy, or maybe try and steal the round away if possible.
So far, it's too slow. Reckoning need to make a move. They haven't even done too much to expend Aster Army's utility. So when Reckoning go for the actual hit, they will have to face a lot of resistance, not unless Deadly is able to pick up kills like that. The Hunter security doesn't really help them out all that much.
I cannot
So
use
He's
that.
not able to find much impact, but able to find people through the
30
scan, and
seconds
they're
left.
making it really difficult to break this recon. If he had big returns, he probably would have spammed his opponents down. But for now, this just seems like a mop-up round for
Flawless.
Reckoning.
Pretty much a flawless one. Aster Army, I like the thought process behind that entire A main play where they were trying to play off the paranoia, but unfortunately, Deadly 10 was able to catch the man off guard with the spam, and Dominic wasn't able to get any kills. Now a tactical timeout being pulled out from Aster Army because they know they finally got the guns on the board, some big guns as well, and they really want to squeeze out the maximum amount of value and maybe to win this round as well. So something needs to be talked out here, and that's why you see the coaches as well just making some heavy talking.
Yeah, they gotta be discussing stuff. At this point, both the teams have used up quite a lot of their strat book. But with Reckoning not having made their signature moves yet, maybe it's time to pull them out. Aster Army with this tactical timeout, on the other hand, are gonna have a mission to finish. Their mid presence hasn't been that dominant yet. Maybe they can start playing aggressively on that end. And I say yet is because we know how deadly this team can be. We know how aggressive they can be. We've seen that in the past. We've seen how relentlessly they can push. So we just need to see a glimpse of that aggression again, maybe. Doesn't necessarily have to be towards mid. Could be anywhere else.
I like how passionate both the coaches are, right? Aster Army
Yeah.
coach especially, he's just giving calls left, right, and center. He had a lot to say. He was also pointing out the fingers of two, so don't exactly know what's going on here. Let's see what sort of a change we're going to see. So I guess we're definitely seeing a little bit of change in the defaulting of Aster Army. They're playing in 2-2 pairs now. You can see both of the players are holding the tree section this time. On the other hand, there's 2 players pushing up a little bit on mid.
Yep. And the KJ util's been placed on A instead of B.
Yeah.
So definitely Aster Army have changed things up. Reckoning will need to recognize this. And Reckoning are playing very slowly. This is quite uncharacteristic of them. We know them as a team that's super aggressive, that doesn't follow the meta, that breaks and bends rules to their own will. But this is a very tame version of themselves.
Sometimes you gotta respect the opponents, man.
Yeah.
You gotta play the game by the rules sometimes. If you don't, you will be punished just like this. Master, a dry peek. Didn't even use a flash to try and counter that, but Master gets surprised with the operator bullet right to his chest. And Reckoning Esports, they're gonna start to make the move, but they might just fall in the trap that Aster Army are trying to set up. And look at the rotation, it's so quickly made. 3 players are already towards Haven. One of those is already gonna jump down all the way towards the generator side, and Kishi gets rewarded with 2 kills. Aster Army, this was a trap setup.
Incredible. Flabin's at least able to destroy the lockdown, but the spike is deep inside enemy territory. There's no way he can recover this, but maybe Deadly can. This is a race against time.
Left.
Deadly needs to either kill everyone or go for the plant right away. He will have to be the bodyguard. 1 HP in a dream, that's all that Deadly has. Wink, on the other hand, is moving very quickly. Deadly gives him a haircut through the woodworks. Kohli's position detected. He knows both of them are still in the site, but they will have to play ring around the rosies with this generator. And Deadly walks away with all those frags. So many frags at just 1 HP, and he did not even stop for that one.
Coach is just disappointed. He knows that round was theirs, but they still lost out on those duels. Reckoning Esports able to adjust so quickly. And that's something that really helped them out in that round.
Seconds left.
Look at Deadly 10. This man only had 1 HP, and he was able to get a 4K. Quite an impressive place from Deadly 10. I mean, if you've got a monster like Deadly 10 underneath your sleeve, then he can make impossible possible.
Yeah. Aster Army had all the opening frags, and Deadly now once again strikes right away. Wink given a free haircut, and he does not like this one.
Out of charges.
No refunds for you, mister. What a round was that? What a beginning from Deadly 10, stepping up like the hero he deserves to be. It was a 2v4, dude. Aster Army, they did not just know that Reckoning were towards A shot, but Dominic even used his ultimate to figure out that no one's towards A main, and Aster Army had all their rotations, all the KJ util placed. Despite the double kill of Kishi, they still lost out. And now they're losing once again. Out of desperation, Dominic starts to push up, and the timing might just be perfect. There's no chamber utility to discover this backstab, so Dominic can continue ruining all their plans. And they just seem to miss him out by an inch every single time.
Last player
Opportunity
standing.
presents itself, but Deadly steals it away.
Spike planted.
It looks back at the nick of time, and Dominic wasn't able to have that surprise factor inside the game anymore. Good way to sniff out that flank, and now Doxer is the only glimmer of hope left alive, and he will be extinguished as well. Reckoning Esports, another flawless round on the board for them, and now the scoreline's equaled out. It's evened out, tied up, and Aster Army, all the lead they had in the first half is completely nullified. The coach definitely did give out quite a lot of callouts, but oh man, it did work out in the initial phases, but with the way Reckoning Esports adapted out, it's impressive.
Very impressive. And these few rounds, I don't think the coach's call can do all that much. It just comes down to Deadly and his firepower. Look at the frags he's got. He's on 27. Nobody else is even close to 20. He's feeling himself. The tip of the spear now heading deep into the flesh of Aster Army. Without stopping, without any remorse. Kishi finally slays the monster, but he's got way too many more headed towards him. Overwhelmed by the numbers. It's up to Goldie to help him out somehow. Even Doxer is able to find one. Deadly. Him gone. Might just open up the round for Aster Army, and they need this. They can't afford to give away too much of a lead, and Reckoning have won 2v4s in the past. Can they do it again? Just one flash left onto Master, and now he's lost his vision, lost his life. Harsh, the captain, has to step up. Way too much responsibility on his shoulders, and soon there won't be a head on it. They almost lined up.
A good double peek from Aster Army to seal the deal, and once again, Dominic's gonna just BM him. Oh, Dominic! I mean, he is
Understandable.
feeling himself, but the match is really close.
Understandable, man. When the match is this close, it will force these players to release some emotion. There's gonna be a lot of pent-up anger, anxiety, and mixed feelings about this game.
Honestly,
It can be quite an emotional one.
honestly, I think so. It's the opposite. When a game's closer, you should not do all that stuff. Because you know that the game's way too close for comfort. And if you are going to be doing all that stuff, it might just backfire onto you soon enough. So you should not do that.
I think these players have thick skin. I don't think they care much about it. Recon not broken, so Harsh is given away.
Yeah.
Luckily, it doesn't give away the location of the spikes, so they still don't know what Reckoning got up to. Quite a risky position to use the drone from. He's quite in the open. They're counting on nobody from Aster Army playing mid.
Ooh.
Oh, deadly. Even in such an enclosed space, he's able to find the kills.
Classic strategy. Send the drone in first, deadly in the back, but the operator will strike him down. Coley not inside the game anymore. One info gathering agent out of the game. Mid presence spotted out through the turret. Master and Boya, both of these guys are trying to get the positioning done. Just trying to gain some info through the mid area. Wink being smoked off from the tree area too. They've got a decent amount of map control so far. And Reckoning Esports, they're really trying to play off of it, but still taking their sweet little time before hitting the site.
30 seconds on the clock. Reckoning need to make a move. If they don't deal with the KDU, this will be deadly. But I speak his name and he strikes. Doxer blinded. The best that he can do is hope that his nanoswarms delay them. They almost lined up for him once again, but Deathly's just feeling himself. His third frag of the round.
Spike planted.
It's a 4-on-2. With the way Reckoning Esports were able to find one after the other, these picks, they're just quite flawless. Able to read exactly where Aster Army's players are defaulting towards, and we're able to pick them out one after the other. Perfectly done from Reckoning Esports. Just recognizing the playing pattern of Aster Army, the positioning pattern. And now Aster Army, as they do realize our playing pattern has been recognized in the upcoming round, something new needs to be pulled out. Once again, the scoreline will be evened out, 11-11. Aster Army on a save. Maybe they would want to get some exit frags if possible, but probably no.
They can't afford to. They can't risk their weapons. Aster doesn't have the money. It's gonna be a broken buy of sorts because Kishi has no cash, but Goli and Doxer have a little bit of spare change. So they can still afford weapons, but not everyone can.
Oh man, the amount of pressure. You can feel it, even though you're not playing in there. You can still feel it, the pressure. Just because the match is this close, and Deadly 10 is now starting to feel himself too. In the first half, Deadly 10 was definitely not present, but in the second half, his presence is felt way too much. He's making such an impact on the attacking side. Yeah, and with this operator too. He's pulled out an aggressive operator on the attacking side. You don't really see that often. And he's going for those aggressive peaks and somehow able to surprise the opponents as well. Once again, on that aggressive approach, Deadly 10 was, but he will be falling back considering there's a lot of visual denying utilities on the board from the opponents.
Aster Army finally playing a bit aggressively. I've been wanting to see this from them. Now they finally showcase some presence, this time towards B main. I don't like the fact that it's Doxer leading the charge because his alarm bot is what's keeping mid defense active. So now that Aster Army don't see anything towards B main, they just take the orb and fall back. Boya was trying to set up a fake towards the A site, but Aster Army don't fall for this. They continue defending B. It will still be difficult for Reckoning Esports. Only is playing in a one-and-done position of sorts. With the Nana Swarms, they won't really check him. Deadly. He misses the shot! At least Harsh with the teleport can refrag. Doxer's trapped. No, he's not! Wink is here to save him! All of a sudden the tides have turned, and now it's Master left to his own devices. Trapped in the corner with 3 guns trained at him. It will be very difficult to get out of this alive.
Oh, Aster Army, nicely done! But props should be given to Reckoning Esports with the way they brought up a little switch in the defaulting. As you said, they sent Boya towards the short area to try and fake stuff out. For a second, Aster Army were falling to that, but as soon as Voya got picked off, there was a smoke being thrown from B main all the way towards the defender spawn, and that's when Aster Army knew that that was a fake being set up, and they started to rotate all the way back to the B side as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So Aster Army, that was a quick adaptation from their side and a good adjustment.
Yeah, and this is partially because Aster Army have figured out every time Voya uses his drone, Deadly will follow on the back of it. And because they saw Voya alone this time, they were like, nah, since Deadly's out here, this is not going to be the execute. They've done this before, right? We saw it in the previous round where Voya used that drone towards Catwalk and then Deadly followed up with the kill towards Tree. They find him alone and they recognize, nah, this man, he's trying to be a snake oil salesman. He ain't selling jack today. Aster don't fall for the fake, and they repositioned themselves back on B on their defaults.
Yeah.
And now they've got map point. This is gonna be either overtime or Aster Army picking up the win as expected.
Aster Army on that map point. Reckoning Esports way too close for comfort to make it to OT. But is that OT gonna come through? It's all gonna come down to this defending round from Aster Army. A shorty available in the hands of Wink will also get his hands on the Phantom now. Let's see how this is going to be played out. Because it does seem like Aster Army, they want to take quite an aggressive approach from the A main area. And if they are able to do so, they might just be able to catch some players off guard. But no, the entire team of Reckoning Esports is all the way back towards spawn. Hunter's Fury utilized to try and clear out some main angles, and no one was being spotted.
It's quite weird. Kohli often does this. He uses the ult blind without any information, without any recon downs or whatever. Oh, but Wink tried to peek out of the smoke, hoping to surprise them, but Master's not going to fall for any of those tricks. Deadly doing what he does best, decimating his opponents. Kohli, again, trying to peek out of the smoke. Every time Aster Army have someone trying to peek out of the smoke, they walk into a firing range. They walk into a barrage of bullets.
Null command. Okay, she's got an ult command available, but is still not opting out to pop that. Maybe you should. It is the last round, Kishi. Should give it a shot, because up after this round, it's going to be a complete overtime. Dominic only on 9 HP, and Kishi is trying his best to try and gather as much attention as possible. It's a 1-on-3 scenario, definitely pullable. Null command being utilized as well, but Kishi, unfortunately, was not able to find a lot of value through that. Oh, it could have been really close, but Master was able to seal the deal, and we're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen.
All this fuss over nothing. So many opportunities missed by either side. Reckoning pull off a 2v4 to keep the hope alive in a situation where it all looked bleak. And after that, it's just been the Deadly show. But Aster Army step up when it's required. They reach map point. Reckoning, they step up even more to give us an overtime. This game is bonkers.
Yeah. And I like how Master's stepping things up, even on the Reckoning side, right? Master's been able to put up some numbers. And his team really needs him to step up, and this time he's chosen how to step up quite well. So that's some good stuff. And now, considering both these teams forced on a complete overtime, there's a tactical timeout being called from the side of Reckoning Esports just to give some pep talk to the team. They probably want to seal the deal inside this first OT.
They would definitely want to. But now the question is, do Reckoning fall back to do something similar that they have used in the past? Or do they go for something radically new? Or do they do none of that and just hold their defaults? The options are aplenty. Time, unfortunately, not. You can feel
the coach
tilt
is
on Mandalik.
Yeah, he's not happy. He's not too happy with the team right now. He's showing a lot of emotions. He's expressing them. But you got to keep your faith on the boys. They can make the impossible possible if you just give them the right amount of support and the confidence they need. Aster Army on their attack, they have been looking pretty nice. And the chances are, if they're able to read out the entire defaults from the side of Reckoning Esports properly, there's a high chance they probably will be able to get this round in the hand too. A good flash on him in. Once again, used that Odin to try and spam through someone, but no one was being found. Voya try to use the similar strategy where he got those 2 free kills.
Deadly playing dangerous games. There's a flash on him and even a paranoia, but none of that seems to matter. He can't even dash away. So that's gonna be his death sentence.
What?
Okay, Wink doubling up. Now that's what we needed from Aster Army. That's the step up we were looking for. Flabin has his trap activated. It's time to turn back, but Wink is just too sharp.
Solid stuff. Wink with the 3K for his team. And now it's a 2-on-3 scenario. Aster Army, they've got the superior guns in their hands, of course. Coley with the operator in his hands. And this post plants is definitely going to help him out quite a bit.
Planted.
All he needs to do is just hold angles with that gun. And now Reckoning Esports, with only these two players, they'll now need to play off of each other so well. Teamwork needs to be on the point, and Dominic on alert. This lurk might just prove out to be huge. There's a high chance he might just seal the deal on both these players. He's managed to pretty much creep and crawl his way all the way in towards Market. Finds one. We'll get the second one too, but no, it's going to be the answer. Shorty pulled out from Hirsch. Interesting. And now it's a one-on-one scenario. Wink is quite softened up, and Aster Army, they might just throw the scenario where they had it in the hands, but no, Wink saves the day.
As soon as he hears the water, as soon as he hears the footstep of him falling down, he peeks out. The timing on this guy is ridiculous. Aster Army get to map point once again. They found themselves here before and they couldn't seal the deal. Is this gonna be yet another overtime? Or will Aster finally pick up the map, which they should have a long time ago?
Let's get this done.
Deadly on 32 frags. Oof. Let me remind you,
That
ladies
is
and gentlemen,
smurfing.
the current world record for the highest number of frags in a single map is 39. And it's held by Monnier from Global Esports. And that was possible because the game went into an overtime. And now that we find ourselves in another overtime, maybe Deadly can challenge that world record.
Maybe. For them, more important is going to be to win this game. And Aster, oh, that was a really good flash. Doxer, now he's going to feel threatened in that spot.
But this is
On
quite
the other hand,
this is quite a good brain game from
I have
Doxer.
the
He
spike.
often does this. And he did it even in the past during his RG Academy days. He would often place the alarm ball over there and then play mid himself, just waiting for contact. That would make his enemy team expect that there's nobody
Right
else on mid. That is, there you have it. The Killjoy himself is playing in that area.
yeah. And he's still not revealed himself. Aldron spotted, and once again, Deadly 10's on a prowl, on a mission to hunt every single player down on the site. Managing to find that kill. The door's being shut right on top of Deadly 10's face. Flavin misses out a little bit of shot and gives opportunity for Dominic to try and capitalize. Kishi could have got the second one, but no, it's going to be the answer. Master once again steps up huge. And Doxer, the last man up and alive to try and keep the dream alive and to seal the deal in this overtime. It sounds next to impossible, but Voya is ready for this peak. As Doxer peeks out, Voya is going to respect him, but Doxer's got no clue that Voya is still in binary.
We are going to yet another overtime. And Aster Army are getting overwhelmed with their emotions. Reckoning just about managing to hold on. And in this intense situations, I wouldn't really blame anyone if their emotions are running high.
Deadly 10. Here we go. Let's see what he's got now. Another OT, ladies and gentlemen. 13-13. This game is way too neck and neck.
Shutting them down. One
This game is indeed neck and neck. These teams are at each other's necks. With knives, kunais, guns, whatever you can name. They've got it. Aster Army going for a heavy split this time. They had Doxer placed right outside B main, but now he's going to join his team towards mid. The drone doesn't spot anyone, which is good. As much information as you can deny Reckoning, it will be better for you. With no sound in place yet, look at the smoke. It's been placed right on the mouth of A. It kinda is counterproductive, but it might just give Reckoning a false sense of security. And this lets Aster Army go all the way to its heaven. Now the two players who are on site are kind of trapped. They have to worry about multiple angles. Their presence detected. Harsh and Master have to hold on their own. The generator push from Master yields quite a lot of dividends, and he's finally suppressed. It's all down to Harsh. He's getting spammed out, but he will continue to hold his own. Backup has arrived in form of Flabin, but is he gonna be there to rescue his teammate when he needs him the most? No, Harsh falls. Back to a 2v2.
Yeah, Deadly 10 has got his stretch primed up. Dash inside the site, gathering all the attention on himself, but Scully was still able to find the connections through the smoke. And now it's a one-on-one scenario. Flabin is all by himself towards tree, and Coley is not sure if this plan is safe or not. Flabin, on the other hand, still just holding on to his horses, and Coley will finally try and commit to a plan, but it's quite out in the open, and Coley still wins it! Aster Army on their attack, they've been looking phenomenal!
He pulled out his gun later. Mechanically, that was impossible to hit. Oh my lord, Coley. You beauty, stepping up when his team needs him the most. Embarrassing Flabin in that situation, who had all the advantages in the world. And this game has been rough for Flabin and Warrior. They're not able to find their groove. Reckoning have been kept alive, partially because of Deadly's strong beating heart. But how much can he carry? How much weight can he take upon his shoulders?
Oh. Reckoning Esports now on their attack. Both these teams have been looking so good on their attacking side, but a little shaky on the defending. Aster Army, they're quite adamant to push up. They really do want to try and sniff out some good plays from their side. Hirsch fakes away a teleport just to bait out a push, and seems like slowly and steadily starting to work out in his favor.
Cover going out.
He's going to go for a smoke route on the face of main. Hirsch senses that there's someone there. His spidey senses are starting to tingle. And look at Deadly 10. He's managed to cross on over all the way from tree. This lurk might just come through safely enough, but it's being held. Maybe not. No, it's not being held. They've got no clue that Deadly 10's in the backlines. He will peek out. Even though he's blind, he still manages to catch Kishi. And Aster Army, now they're starting to get crunched up. They're pretty much surrounded from all the sides, and Doxer, this trigger discipline is perfect. Will finally manage to shut down Flabin. That's a trade for sure. And Aster Army, now it's a 4-on-4 scenario. They've managed to equalize things out. There's Odin in the hands of Coley, and you do not want to straight up go out and challenge it. Doxer, quite a questionable move. The Odin's going to strike in, but no connections found. Finally, Coley was able to shut down the man in the close. Name Coley, but Deadly 10.
How is he alive?
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Dude, question. Aster Army start to crawl their way in. Dominic. I mean, it's a 2-on-2 scenario. Definitely quite doable. Both the teams are now going to start to feel their nerves, and he's in the clotheslines, and Boya peeks out at the right timing.
Sheesh, dude, it was all partially because of Deadly's push towards attacking spawn. I'm sorry, the defending spawn. What a gap he managed to find. And all of this was possible because Aster Army were really adamant on hitting a main. Hirsch kept them distracted for so long over there. And they abandoned the catwalk area in hopes of doing so. And that's how Deadly was able to find that flank. He got the opening pick towards mid, allowed his team to move into its B main. And yes, Reckoning, they knew that this round is going haywire, so they might as well just go for the smoke through peaks. Not a bad decision, but it backfires. And another overtime on the cards. Flabin once again going for the B main peak. He hasn't been successful over here. At least this time he doesn't die.
But he's taken down low. 77 HP in his hands. A little bit scratched up. Aster Army really respecting their opponents this time, taking their sweet time, and approaching slowly and steadily. Shock darts are just raining above, from the above, and really need to find that spot to try and dodge those. Doxer still outside the main. Position is compromised, but it's not really going to give away a lot of things. And Doxer, he might just be surprised if he decides to peek this out and knows going to be the answer. Instead, he's going to fall back, places alarm bot towards the B-man area, while the rest of his teammates start to move from the market.
This is it.
30 seconds
It
left.
all comes down to this
Spike
final
down,
stand.
mid.
Reckoning are prepared for this B defense. Aster Army trapped on mid. They can't really fall back. Nor can they try to make their way towards mid-market. Goalie's already found his way into its street. This is the second time somebody from Aster Army has snuck through. Last time Deadly tried to make this flank and he was successful. And now Aster Army give Reckoning a taste of their own medicine. Dominic holding defending spawn. He's hoping to keep them at bay. Loses his life, but that's okay because he's delayed them in the process. And now he's found out that both the Reckoning players are coming from heaven. No lurk in progress, so Aster Army abandon the site and play from a main instead.
Revealing area.
Perfectly done, but you've also got a man wrapping up in the name of Winks. Look at him. He's closing up all the way towards Tree, and this lurk from Wink might just prove out to be huge. Flabbin and his teammate on the side, he's quite softened up. Oh, only down to 13 HP. Not a good news for Reckoning Esports. Woya needs to pull off some incredible inhuman plays, but this flank is now finally going to come through, and Doxer from the back lines capitalizes.
It's so funny that Reckoning loses a round because of a similar play which they used to win. The tree area is becoming a problem for both these teams in the overtime, as the lurks are just able to find their way through on both sides.
And to be honest, I think so the only way to fix that entire issue is to just let that Killjoy play towards the A site. And maybe let someone else watch that mid and B.
But Reckoning don't even have a Killjoy. All that they can do is hope that Flabbin's in the right spot. But you know who else can be in the right spot? It can be you, if that spot happens to be the Hindi stream. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Loco is giving away Riot Cash worth 1,000 Valorant points. So if you would tune into the Hindi stream, then you have a chance of winning these points too.
$14-15, man. This is getting way too nervous, way too close to comfort. Look at how frustrated Vandalik looks. Not a huge fan of that. He should keep it cool. He should try and put the faith in his boys, because that's all he can do so far. He is giving out those call-outs. He knows that this matchup is getting way too close for comfort. He's not a huge fan of that, but you got to deal with what you're left with. And sometimes, you never know. Aster Army might just step up huge. They're going to send an operator aggressive towards the main area. Huge fan of that move. Paranoia being utilized from both the sides, and Deadly 10 once again is going to dash all the way towards the market. Similar strategy utilized, but Deadly 10 being taken down. A huge shutdown, a huge nullify coming through from Aster Army. But look at the rotation. It's being pulled out all the way towards the A site, but they've got no clue that Reckoning Esports, they're waiting slowly and steadily.
You've got Goya trying to sell a fake to its A main once again. Do Aster Army fall for this? Flabbin's in the perfect spot to shut down any rotations, and the rotations are inbound. Doxer's making the move. He just misses Flabbin. The smokes on B are going to indicate that Reckoning indeed want to hit the site, so Aster Army have some defenses in place. Ring tries to spam through, but he gets shot down in return. That leaves Kishi all by himself. I'm surprised that he survived the first encounter against Deadly in the first place. He was tagged up on mid. So the fact that he can survive long enough itself is a big deal, but now Aster Army find themselves in a 2v3. It's either the game win or yet another overtime, and given the situation, Reckoning have all that they need to push this game into one more OT. Can it come through though? Flabbin offers a fight. Doxer still holding steadily. Wallbang boils him down to 14 HP, but the time is running out. And Aster Army are running out of all hope. Flabbin opening, fully shutting them down. It's all up to Master, and he's gone.
Aster Army, they sealed the deal in this overtime. It was quite a close affair, but still at the end of the day, they managed to seal the deal and take this first map in their hands. Reckoning Esports. The coach is quite sad. It is indeed quite a sad moment. Ascent is supposed to be one of their strongest maps, and they have been defeated once again by Aster Army in the first pick. And now the upcoming pick is going to be quite an interesting one. The map of Lotus, which is the pick of Reckoning Esports. Hopefully they've got something new cooked up, because Aster Army is one of those teams that does their research and will try to counter you. The last time they faced on the map of Lotus, they weren't looking that good, but I'm pretty sure they must have learned a lot from their mistakes. Aster Army, a way to put up a show and a way to seal the deal.
Ascent was way too shaky. Deadly's death in the last round changed the tides. He had Kishi revealed over there with the Sova utility, and Deadly was the one inside the smoke, so on paper he should have been able to get that frag easily. And Deadly was firing on all cylinders. Man had more than 30 kills. If Deadly probably stayed alive in that round, then maybe we could have had another overtime, but Aster Army pulled off a 2v3 retake against all odds to shut down Ascent.
Exactly. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to push to a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. came off the bench. I get it in.
I know my destiny. destiny. I know my 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 destiny.
Aster have tried to flirt with the idea of Phoenix, and sure, Kishi had some stylish moments on it, but this time he goes for the killjoy right away. So it kind of tells you that the Phoenix is not going to be in play, unless maybe someone like Wink picks it up. The Harbor Viper from Reckoning is not a surprise though.
Ooh, okay. They're gonna bring in that raise. So pretty much almost the similar composition, right, as the last time. Instead of Phoenix, we're just seeing that raise being pulled out.
Yep.
So let's see how it works out this time, right? You've got the breach as well. You've got a decent amount of flashes to try and back you up. This means Reckoning Esports, hopefully they've got their sunglasses ready, because it's going to be quite a bright day for them.
Bright and explosive day. Imagine if they get caught in Kohli's fault line. they're not able to move away, and that's when Wink throws his paint shells. They would just blow right up.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
so we're seeing... Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're seeing Dominic on that Omen. The last time we saw him on Lotus, he was playing Astra. So that's a quick change.
Yeah, Lotus does have a lot of these areas where Omen can teleport across. Several gaps which can be exploited. Especially when you're playing against a lineup that has a Harbor and a Viper both. It will be sort of difficult to get a lot of map control anyway, because there will be just so much utility to deny vision. So you might as well just try to cut across the map like that.
Here.
Although with Reckoning
Right there.
playing Killjoy on C, it will be quite difficult for Dominic to make any of those moves. He might be able to make them to it, but it's currently stacked by 3 players. Trailblazer used by Aster Army,
Right
but
there.
no commitment on the
Yeah.
back of it yet. And the spike isn't anywhere close. But look at how passively Reckoning are playing. They've just left 1 turret on B, a nanoswarm on the C site, but the rest of the area is just being held very passively. They're not contesting actively, and this allows Aster Army to go all the way up towards the A stairs. Master spots them out, and he doesn't want to fight this.
Indeed, he wouldn't.
Here.
Respecting the opponents, letting them have that control. Astra Army, as long as they're not really getting their hands on the site, Reckoning Esports should be completely okay with that. Astra Army, still they're
30
crawling,
seconds left.
just creeping their way in slowly and steadily, and it seems like the B side's going to be the take here. Master is not going to be able to do anything. He catches a little bit of bullets onto himself through the smoke, and now they've got the entire site control done. Ducks are still in mid or outside A, was able to find one. Gets flashed out by Voya, and maybe Voya will be shut down as well. Behind the box, Voya is way too low for comfort, and Doxer comes out on top once again. His ghost is now really starting to reply back in power, and Astra Army,
Last player
things
standing.
might just fall apart for them. Trades did happen back and forth, and Master is now the only man left alive. He's only got 25 HP left in the hand. Next to impossible to pull anything off.
Reckoning's composition change might just be their undoing. Deadly was on fire the last game with the Jet, but this time he's playing Killjoy. And the Jet has been assigned to Flabin. Man did not have that great of a game on Ascent. I hope he can activate his mojo now. Because if Aster Army continue to go down this road, then we might just be looking at a quick 2-0. Even Aster Army have made changes of their own. This time it's Doxer on the initiator. Meanwhile, he usually is the guy who's always playing Killjoy. So I hope Kishi's comfortable on this one. Wink on the raise is no surprise. He's always been phenomenal. Guiding lights exchange by the side. Flabin decapitates Wink. And he can fall back too. The fault line won't really stop him.
Yeah. Good stuff. Coley is in the back. Considering they've already lost out on one of those players, even though they are on an anti-eco, it's not something they're going to be a huge fan of. Reckoning Esports, once again, playing things really slow and disciplined. Hirsch is ready with the snake bite as soon as any sort of presence is being spotted out. He's just holding on to it. And soon enough, the smokes are going to be deployed as well. Vandal in the clotheslines. He will be able to find one. Snakebite gets deployed, and that's where Hirsch finds himself in a huge advantage. Phantom retrieved in the hand, and things might just flip apart. And that's what exactly happens. This is a huge nightmare for Aster Army. That Phantom is now starting to ring against them, and it's all down to Kishi with only a Vandal in the hand. And even the spikes dropped out. Man number in the hands of Reckoning Esports, and Kishi's only down to 21 HP. This sounds next to impossible, but also sounds a fairy tale of being pulled off perfectly.
They're gonna peek him together. Just jump spots by Flabin. He's giving a little bit of sound cue, but now the position's confirmed. Kishi's got 1 foot in the grave and the clock ticking against him. He's gonna have to go for the fight. I don't think he can go for the blunt, and the moment he tries it, Reckoning peek out at the same time. A thrifty pulled off, and that's how you break the momentum. Aster Army made big investments in this one. Instead of going for your Stingers and Spectres, they had the Phantoms and Vandals. And all it takes is one random kill from Hirsch. He threw down the Snakebite. As soon as Aster Army step into it, they're vulnerable. So the Classic is enough to get them the frag. And then he got the Phantom, which turned the whole tide around.
Vandalic's expressions show how big of a nightmare that is. And soon enough, it's going to grow up even more. They got a Phantom and a Vandal in the hand. That gave them a huge economic boost. Look at Deadly 10. He's got 3,000 credits stacked up. That's huge. Reckoning Esports already off to a blast. And the entire bonus round being canceled out as well off the opponents. Now they're just having those sheriffs in the hand to try and punish this push. Flash not going to work out, but the flash from the side of Reckoning Esports is perfectly fine. The trades did happen back and forth. The sheriffs are able to find those connections, but Aster Army still, they've got no clue that if C-Long's clear or not.
Even if they try to re-clear, it would just be them giving away a lot of guns to Aster Army again. Doxer retrieves the Vandal. It would be best if he gives it away to Kishi, the healthier player, but the moment I say that, he loses a chunk of his HP, which now kind of makes things pointless. But there's one advantage that Aster Army still have, and that is that Reckoning will have to play all these sites by themselves.
I've got
Voya
your
alone
trail.
on C,
Hawk out.
30 seconds left.
Deadly alone on B, and then Harsh on A. So there's no trading potential on any of these Reckoning members. I mean, it's not like they need to trade. Everybody on Aster Army is so low. A couple of bullets will do the job. Doesn't even have to be headshots. Time running low. This Viper wall is going to create a lot of problems for them.
enemy
Wink is going to
remaining.
have to hard
10
clear this,
seconds
and
left.
Harsh is prepared.
Strike
There's
down
nothing
A.
to bother him.
Everything I wanted. Wasn't it?
Aster Army,
Toxin screen.
this is a nightmare brewing up. They lost that eco round. Now they also lost that entire round where they had an eco going up for themselves. So definitely not a good news for them. On the other hand, Reckoning Esports exactly the way they wanted stuff to go. Keep this thing in mind. Lotus is sort of an attacking-sided map. If you're not really able to establish that dominance on the attacking side, then things can be a little bit problematic. But in the past, we've also seen teams sort of flip the switch in the defending side too, so nothing much can be said.
Oh, big moves by Wink. Almost catches Harsh over there. And Harsh isn't alone over here. This time the setup is deadlier. Not only is there a Viper smoke available, but there's a nanoswarm right next to it. So if they decide to challenge the Viper smoke, they will not only be vulnerable, but then they will be burning. That's an instant death sentence. And that's just one nanoswarm. The rest of the KJ util is towards the B side. So Reckoning have covered this quite well. Up in the hands of Flab, and Trailblazer pushes him back just a little bit, but he's not falling off from this angle. Still adamant. Meanwhile, Aster Army using the guiding light towards C, and they've also left Dominic over there, so they're trying to actively sell all these fakes, but Reckoning just simply won't budge. Now they will budge. Now they will run away. Reckoning have 3 players stacked up on C, but that's not where the side hit is coming. Aster Army showed a lot of presence towards the A side, and this once again forces Reckoning to preemptively rotate, while the spike now travels towards C. Aster Army are toying with their opponents.
Look at all the 4
30
players
seconds
just stacked
left.
outside. Hirsch is ready once again with the snake bite. This might just be a huge nightmare. And it's a nanoswarm and the snake
Spike
bite
down.
combination. And Reckoning Esports, once again, they let him funnel in their crosshairs. And Aster Army, they're starting to lose out these duels. It's a 3-on-1 scenario. Wink all by himself in this one. He's got a decent amount of HP. He's looking quite healthy. But converting this round is once again going to be a huge challenge. And Voya seals the deal.
Aster Army tried their level best to bamboozle Reckoning Esports, and for the most part, they did fall for the bait. Reckoning stacked up the C side when Aster Army was heading with multiple members towards A. They forced Flabin back, and then they head back towards the C side, where on paper they had the superior numbers. There were only 2 defenders on the C side, but Deadly is equivalent to all 5. And with Harsh's snake bites
Find
and
the weak
Deadly
point
holding that
and
area,
break
he is a solid anchor. Immovable, untouchable, unrelenting, unforgiving. And Deadly starting to pop off once again. Shorty action this time, but like I said, Deadly's unforgiving, man. He burns Wink alive. And now there's so much counter-util standing in the way of Aster Army, they just simply can't walk into B. They can try, but Deadly will once again punish them.
Ooh. Just tapping away randomly, was able to find Kishia through that. I like the variations they're trying to bring to the table, but Aster Army, it's not really working out. Those variations are starting to fall apart, and Flabin's got the operator on the board. What a shot!
Last player
Dominic,
standing.
the second peak will be punished, but Deadly 10 is racking up these bodies, stacking them up on top of each other outside that B main. And Dominic will be caught off guard. Hands are busy, and he will be put down in the grave. Perfectly done from Reckoning Esports, but that operator is not going to be retrieved.
But that's okay. I think Reckoning have quite a lot of money. 4 of their players live, most of them having north of 5,000 credits. It's completely fine. Master has 9,000. He's maxed out, so Reckoning don't need to worry about money just yet. Only if they lose like 2 rounds back to back, that's when they will start to feel the poverty. But now the ball's in Aster Army's court. And every time Aster Army have tried to go for the fakes, Reckoning do respond to it quite quickly. While that is a good thing for Reckoning, maybe Aster Army can try to use that to their advantage. Of course, Reckoning are also rotating very passively, you know. They never try to rotate in via the breakable door B-Link, via the rotating doorway on C. They never try to make any of those quicker rotations. They always go around from defender spawn. So in case Aster Army picks up the pace, they might just be able to beat Reckoning to the punch. They might be able to race them to the site. But that's a big might, a big if. And a lot of conditions, a lot of factors need to fall just in the right place for all of that to manifest and come true.
Heavy talking being done, and Reckoning Esports, they've managed to get a 3 rounds lead in their hand. It's not a lead that they should rely on, but definitely a lead they should consider as a momentum and keep on swinging forward. 4 ultimates available in their hands too. They've got a Viper's Pit, Lockdown, Reckoning. Things are really looking solid on this defending round, but this aggressive approach might just not work out, and that's what happens. It's a complete nightmare. It falls apart. And they've also given away the entire site control. Flabin being stunned out, needs to get back to safety. Will also get caught in the aftershock. There's so many utilities just flooding on the site, and the site control this time will be given away, respecting the opponent's Aster Army. They finally get the grip on the site.
Nice. Showstopper to break the lockdown. Now the heat is on. Aster Army defended with their lives. Reposition safely towards the back of bed. And now the crossfire is strong as ever. The only way it can be challenged is if they place the smoke towards the bottom of this ramp area, and they can't. Aster Army beating them to the punch. They win a round after such a tremendous and arduous task. But it took them quite a long time to make this happen. And it's partially because Reckoning offered them all these fights. It was an instant 2-for-1 trade. Only Flavin got the shot back from the op.
Sky's out.
But you have to appreciate the amount of utility that was put down to suppress Flavin. As he fell back, a paranoia was thrown upwards into the air to catch him in the middle of his updraft. And then he was concussed with the Trailblazer. Blinded by the flashpoint. And if he tried to escape, there was even an aftershock to kill him. No, Wink! The worst instance of timing comes true for him, and now Flavin finally can get challenged without any utility. A flash in the hand, but it doesn't really matter. He can shoot them blind. He's gonna decapitate all of them. And within a matter of seconds, Aster Army find themselves in the grave. Arsh puts the final nail in the coffin. That one reckoning that Master invested yields so much.
Nicely done, Reckoning Esports. Another round in their hands, while that they were just keeping that aggressive approach from themselves. Flappin being able to find those 3 kills, that's huge. Look at these picks. It almost seems unrealistic, but he was still able to get those in his hands. That was a good capitalization from them, pushing up all the way from the A main side, denying that entire control, where Aster Army had the plans of doing so. But they just got caught off guard. They got caught by surprise.
I think a surprise is an understatement.
Toxins going up.
They were met with a firing barrage.
I've got your
Shooting gallery at them. Oh, now this can change things. Rolling Thunder invested. Harsh, you see, he was trying to go for the Viper's Pit, but it was just too late. Aster Army brute forced their way in.
Found one. You should run.
He realized he cannot fight back anymore. The spike plant goes down. Deadly 10 able to shut down Doxer. It's a 4-on-4 scenario. The man advantage is quite equal on both the sites, and now Aster Army, they're going to start to run away with the kills. Flavin's all by himself with the operator in the hand, and he will fall back and try to get it saved up.
Aster Army fight fire with fire. Last time, Master's Reckoning actually helped them get all the frags, and Reckoning was able to stop Aster Army in its tracks. But now Aster Army hit them back with even more force.
Thrifty.
They're on the hunt, trying to find Flabin, but Flabin's quite safe. And that's a thrifty round pulled off.
This play.
Nicely done from Aster Army, actually. That's the round they really needed, and as we do talk about this, those thrifty rounds are really one of those rounds that can make a huge impact and a huge difference inside the game. And instantly you see the tactical timeout being called, because now this matchup is starting to pull up a little bit closer, and that previous thrifty can also be the momentum breaker.
It definitely can. It also humbles Reckoning's economy. There was a point where they were at 9,000 credits, and now most of them have dipped below the 3,000 cred mark. Reckoning have just enough money for only one more buy round, so they better be careful. They better watch their step. But while we are talking about money and economy, I would also like to remind you that there's quite a lot of lucrative stuff going on the Hindi stream on Loco. If you watch the Hindi stream on Loco, you have a chance of winning 1,000 Valorant points. That's a lot. That's more than I ever had.
So both these teams are really trying to bring a variation in the pace. You're seeing sometimes the pace being amped up from the side of Aster Army, sometimes the pace being amped up from the side of Reckoning Esports. And that's really bringing a lot of unpredictable nature inside the game, where both these teams are not really able to read onto each other that well. But Aster Army definitely do have the flashes to counter that, but most of the times they're just being caught off guard. That Harbor is really helping them block the entire vision of Aster Army.
And you speak of the Harbor, they use the High Tide once again. This time vertically. Instead of using a cascade, this High Tide actually cuts off Aster Army in the bud. They will have to peek on top of the to figure this out. But Flavin's got the elevation. He's got the frag as well.
And now they're starting to make a quick rotation happen. Dominic gonna teleport all the way back off the seaside. This is quite an interesting teleport. Hirsch could have been caught off guard. That was way too close to comfort. Now they know Hirsch is the only man left over on the seaside. And he's got his snake bites to try and make sure that they're going to funnel in his crossers. He utilizes that snake bite instantly, but no matter that, Aster Army is still going to push through it, and he was able to find the first kill. As soon as they started to try and walk through the snake bite, they're going to get even more vulnerable. And that's why the push is not executed successfully. They relied a little bit too much onto Dominic to find that pick on the seaside, but Dominic was not able to do so.
Every time Aster Army try to hit the seaside, it's like running into a brick wall face first. While the brute force approach has kind of worked for Aster Army towards the A site, on C, they have always been shot down. This crossfire, I mean, actually, I can't even call this a crossfire. It's always just Harsh playing towards Bend and Deadly playing towards Waterfall. And they defend this area so well. The Snakebite and Nanoswarm combination just eats away so much of Aster Army's HP that Reckoning just need probably one bullet to the body to shut them down.
Don't eat them ground.
And it's been a recurring problem for Aster Army. You know what? This might just repel them away from the seaside permanently.
Look at this time. Once again, they're just doing the same thing, trying to deny that aim-in control. And Crips, if you remember, the last time we saw the similar map, we touched upon this. We said this, that if you're able to get that early aim-in control, you're able to deny so much map control to the attackers. It's crazy. And that's what Reckoning Esports are doing over and over again. They're pushing up deep, taking that control in the hands, and pretty much just not giving any other chance for Aster Army to try and capitalize on that aim-in spot. They've got an operator trained up. This Trailblazer might just be able to spot that, but Flabin, he's hiding up and his position's not compromised.
Exactly. Reckoning have a stranglehold on this game. Aggressive defense towards A. A utility barrage towards C side, which is almost impenetrable. And in case Aster Army decide to go B, they've got the myriad of AJ nanoswarms present over there. Look at this cascade. It's been sent all the way from B Link. It stops them in their tracks. And Harsh is using their own smoke against him. Ooh, finally Wink shuts him out. This could be an opening. This could be Aster Army's first successful C hit. And they've killed all the defenders over here. They can actually go in for the plant. Wink is extending further inside. He wants to stop this retake before it even begins.
It's a 5-on-2 scenario, next to impossible to pull off, and then Reckoning Esports might just need to fall back and, yeah, not able to get their hands on that take anymore. Operator's gonna strike in once. Was able to find the first man, but Flabin knows it's a 1-on-3 scenario. Next almost impossibly pulled off, and you might as well try to go for this save on the operator. If it's given to the opponents, it might prove out to be a nightmare. Flabin still just going for those punishment moves, still going for those exit frags. And it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to find that. Picks up a Vandal from the ground, and he's quite adamant to go for this retake. But will be shut down. I like the stubbornness from Aster Army.
I know, right? Even after having so much trouble trying to get through those snake bites in the previous rounds, they brute forced their way to the C site. That smoke that was put up by Dominic was actually quite beneficial. Cuts off a lot of elevated angles, so then all they have to worry about is crossing this little gap, which you see on screen right now, and killing Harsh towards Bend. Harsh also realized that he's being pushed out. The breach util was put over there to specifically counter Harsh's position, so he tried to find a safe haven inside that smoke. Ended up being his grave.
One thing is for sure, Aster Army has improved a ton when the last time we saw them on this map. They're really able to play those counter strats against Reckoning Esports. Even though they were not really able to brute force their way on the C side, they still managed to find a way to do so. There's a showstopper available in the hands of Kishi, or in the hands of Wink. And he will probably try to utilize that in one of the most critical spots possible. But when is that, and where is that? That's what we're here to find out. Reckoning Esports pushed up deep once again to get that aim in control in their hands. The Viper's Pit's going to be activated as well, but unfortunately the double satchel isn't going to work out to the fullest extent. He gets blocked up by the entrance.
They're knocking on the doors of B, and Master can sniff it. He's just waiting for the KG utility to get triggered so he can start firing too. Viper Spit on C keeps them away, and Warrior pushing all the way towards the mouth of A main gets a frag onto Flabin. No more diving available. Sorry, not Flabin, he gets a kill on Johnson. My bad.
What?
Okay then. Alright then.
What interesting stuff, and oh yeah, the trades are now happening, but Goalie somehow able to flip the switch in his team's favor. At least that's what it seems like so far. He managed to try and equalize stuff. Oh, could have been taken down. This is just way too close for comfort. Reckoning Esports, they've managed to squeeze one man out towards the main, and Voya is going to try to wrap in for the back lines. But still, they managed to win the round because they knew that there's not a lot of time left over.
His fault line was perfect. He detected both the players of Reckoning over there. But there's just simply not enough time. He started planting after the 4-second mark had already gone past. Reckoning with the lead. This is quite nice. It's supposed to be an attacker-sided map, at least on paper. And Reckoning with the lead already can secure the bag. But with that spike plant and the kill, Kohli at least farms up his rolling thunder, so there's some force available on Aster Army.
As you said on paper, yeah, attacking-sided map it is. And even I believe it's an attacking-sided map, but sometimes those rotation can be called quite quickly on the site. We do see the resistance from Reckoning Esports. They really do not want to let that A main control go away. They really do not want to let that A site control go away. But Aster Army, they managed to squeeze themselves out of that tricky spot, and they lose out on those duels as well. Master with a 3K is able to nullify the players so far. But Aster Army, they've managed to sneak in one player quite deep in the name of Kishi. He was able to find and get away with a kill. He's also planted a nanoswarm towards the back lines, and Voya might just walk into that soon enough, but Kishi's got no clue that the rotations are starting to fall through. And Aster Army, they'll probably get the plant down soon enough. There's lockdown available and utilized too. Aster Army will need to respect that.
There's still quite a lot of gap which Kishi can use, but Docs are almost got detained. He sees the gun battle, executes him. Doxer chimes in with one as well, and Kishi snaps onto his head. Now things are starting to look dicey for Reckoning Esports. Flabin has to do everything on his own, and the Guiding Light gives away his position. Both of them are now doubling up. They're not holding a crossfire, instead they want to go for the early contact. Oh, forget early contact, they don't want to fight him at all. They just want to boil some time down. No, he almost got Kishi with a knife in his hand, but Kishi recovers.
How do Asters flip that over?
Switching.
These are really some heroic plays that are saving them these rounds. Aster Army, they're being able to prove that over and over again. And now in the first half, at least it's a 7-5. So far, Reckoning Esports, at least they've got a little bit of lead on the defending side. And hopefully they're going to have an advantage on the attack as well to seal the deal on this map. But Aster Army, they're quite stubborn. They want to hit that CSAT over and over again, and sometimes they're able to execute that pretty well as well. As I said, that scenario wasn't supposed to be possible, but they still somehow flip it over with that post plan. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, there is a time for us to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the second half.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20 N-Line. It's time to play.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Welcome back after that short commercial break into the second half, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 7-5 half in the favor of Reckoning Esports, but anything can happen.
Indeed, anything can happen. Reckoning have been using Deadly as their shining knight armor. Sorry, their knight in shining armor quite well. And Flabin's also stepping up. After having a rough game in Ascent, it seems like he's finally woken up. But this is a measly 2-round lead. Aster Army did quite well for themselves to recover. Of course, once you consider that it's supposed to be a little more attacker-sided, it does look a little bleak, but Aster Army are not ones to shy away from a fight. There's no util on B. Skilljoy is all placed on A, and there's only one player marking this area, and that's gonna be Doxer. If he dies, it's gonna be a disaster. But the fight's already broken out towards the C site. Aster Army get the advantage. High Tide committed towards the B side, but that's not where the people are heading. The Trailblazer from Doxer will clear this area out, and he sends away a warning signal to Kishi. It's up to him now to utilize all his util to somehow hold them back, but now he's alone. Can't hold on.
I'm out of stuff.
Doxer. Nice refrag onto him.
Spike planted.
But the players of Aster Army are so far apart, there's barely any trading potential on them. Add to that the fact that Flabin is flanking. That's a lot of Fs over there, but that kind of forces Doxer to keep looking in that direction. He can't focus on the retake with all of this. Switch flipped. First spots out the raise, and now Doxer spotted as well. All the information that Reckoning need is now available on them. All they need to do is just hold on. The crossing held. Hurt is able to get them both. Incredible stuff from Reckoning.
Nicely done. Considering they had the advantage too in the first half, and now even they do win out the pistol round. This gives them a huge leap over the players of Aster Army. I like the positionings on the post plants, really on those unrecognizable spots, and able to get away those trades perfectly. The crossfires there on the point, and Aster Army, they fall prey once again to Reckoning Esports on the attack.
Right there.
Aster Army don't have any weapons purchased. But even with this inferior weaponry set, they will still play aggressively. To get Wink to get up close. I mean, it would have been classified up close, but instead he goes for the orb pickup. Gets it, and now he's going right on the mouth of Root. Inside the smoke, they know it. Nanoswarm's used to push him out of position, but he's still tanking the damage. He's willing to take the risk, hoping to surprise somebody with a classic right click, but that's not happening.
Quick dashes towards the tree area. Rotating doors used as well. Every single player is just flooding on the A side as the floodgates are now open. Cove deployed. They will get the spike plant down. There's a little bit of counter utilities also being used from the side of Aster Army, and now they're just gonna fall apart. It's a graveyard on the A site. Has every single player just crumbled down.
Hey.
Well, at least the lead now looks sizable. And they've still got quite a lot of weaponry on board.
Stay down.
Given the way that Reckoning has so much utility to deny vision, they can use the harbor utility to get all the way up close and personal. And at that range, even the Spectres will be deadly against the Phantoms and Vandals of Aster Army. Aster Army finally changed their Killjoy setup. Kishi places an alarm bot towards the B site. And quite a lot of players are marking this area too. Meanwhile, Kishi himself is playing all alone on C. High tide on the B site, alarm bot triggered out. But Reckoning don't commit to B, instead they're going towards the C side. There's one Nano Swarm in place over there which can probably stop them, but not much else. Reckoning make their way to the bend. Can they go for the plot though?
Shield going out.
Now they can't. Cove deployed. The plant will be coming through. Reckoning Esports. I mean, they have managed to steal the site control away from the opponent's Aster Army, but these shots are really now going to start to hurt. It is the bonus round for the side of Reckoning Esports, so if they are going to manage to win this round, it's just going to be a pretty much huge consolation for them, and will also help them out in the bonus on getting that economy stacked up against him. And Kishi is able to get away with these type of kills. That's really helping the opponents. Aster Army able to rack up those numbers slowly and steadily. Coley on the flank as well, but Wink gets spotted out, and Reckoning Esports, they start to clench their fists together. Once again, they are able to crawl their way back on the site. They get the control back in the hand, and Doxer is all by himself.
Sheesh. That round was way too close for comfort. I think Coley hesitated for a second there to use his flash. That's partially because he was worried that he might team flash his guy over there. He might team flash Wink. That's probably why he hesitated. But Wink died regardless, and after that, Coley found himself compelled to peek dry. And that's when he died. But still, considering this was just a bonus round for Reckoning, it's very impressive that they're able to win this one.
And 10-5 is the score. Now, considering Aster Army, they've been forced on an Eka. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. I mean, the previous round was way too close for comfort, yeah, but Reckoning Esports was their bonus, so it's not really going to matter quite a lot. They're just going to straight up go ahead and upgrade their guns. Vandals and the Phantoms on the board. On the other hand, the opponents, they've only got Sheriffs and a Stinger.
Wide swing. Instantly takes down Kishi. Harbor utility keeps them very, very safe. This seems like a nearly impossible region. I think they'll just be happy to get a couple of exit frags and maybe steal a weapon or two.
And speak about stealing a weapon, they definitely have found a Phantom for themselves.
Blind.
Not recoverable.
Yeah, it's not recoverable. They're actually not even going to try to recover in their hands. Instead, just stacking up towards the B site. And Flappin's going to be able to flank at least one man right here, and he does. Flappin's taken down to 72 HP, can be capitalized upon, but he runs away once again, gets a kill, and dashes away like a thief in the night. One more to go. In the name of Dominic.
Inching closer and closer to victory. Reckoning haven't conceded a single round to Aster Army, and this is going to start ringing alarm bells in their camp. Aster have tried everything, you know? They tried holding defaults, didn't work. They tried playing aggro to its A, it nets them a kill, but never the round.
One enemy remaining.
What did they have left in the tank now? Appropriate tactical timeout. This is their last one. So they better extract as much value out of it as they can. A 6-round deficit to climb, and the odds are stacked against them. At this point, map number 3 seems like an inevitability.
Yeah. It does seem like we're going to move on forward to the map number 3 soon enough. 11-5 is a massive lead, Crips, and yeah, it does sound quite tough considering the way Aster Army are really now fumbling down against Reckoning Esports. It does seem inevitable.
At least Reckoning are smiling.
Yeah.
This is quite a good change in their emotions. After we saw him just hold his face in his palm at the end of Ascent, it's good to see him smile again. 3 massive ultimates on Reckoning though. Can they brute force their way inside? They can use
question.
the Harbor Ultimate. I'm gonna keep calling it the Harbor Ultimate now because calling it Reckoning just seems anti-poetic.
People will probably think that we're saying their name, but yeah, what is this brute force? I mean, it's taken to another level, just asserting dominance to their faces. Not even being scared of Aster Army. I mean, they have gotten a huge lead. And now they're really going to start to run away with it too. What are these shots that are being hit from Reckoning Esports? This is what disrespect looks like. And they're disrespecting Aster Army to their faces. This map of Lotus on this attacking side. Reckoning Esports proven why this map is so strong on the attack.
Coley left with a nearly impossible task on his hands.
Weak.
I would have said that as long as he can get exit kills, he's probably going to keep Reckoning Economy humble, but this late in the game, what can you even possibly do if you melt their economy down? Oh, the timing. He looks away at the worst possible moment.
Oh, the revenge is there! It's a revenge arc for Reckoning Esports. Dominic did the exact same thing on the map of Ascent, and now Reckoning Esports are doing the exact same thing to the opponents on Lotus.
Look at this.
One enemy remaining.
The bold aggression from Flavin. He hits the switch and then he walks into his face, man.
Just running and gunning.
Docs are up close. Yeah, this is not even run and gun. This is like get into your face and gun.
Just like shoves the barrel in his mouth and just straight up fires the bullets. Asserting dominance. One of the prime examples. And look how they're running away. As soon as they heard the showstopper approaching them, and it's Wink just holding the huge barrage or huge rocket launcher in his hands. Aster Army, though, they know that it's the A side being taken away from Reckoning Esports and not going to stop them anytime soon. Kishi able to sneak through the cloud burst, also able to sneak inside the entire Viper's pit. He finds one, gets the second one as well. Angles left unchecked, and Reckoning Esports now having a huge advantage, but the same thing being done from Aster Army too, but the turnaround's there.
Layers upon layers of smokes, and Kishi just ignores them all. A cloud burst, then the Viper's pit, then the Omen's dark cover. All three of them laid down the perfect pathway for him to get inside there and grab glory.
We've got some smoke criminals.
This is beyond criminal, dude. This is cold-hearted criminal. I mean, fear is a factor in situations like these, but Kishi just doesn't have that instinct. That base instinct that every human has, the sense of self-preservation, it's been turned off. And with that series of multi-kills, he's able to farm up his lockdown.
There's not much you can really say inside this matchup, right? It's a complete one-sided. And Reckoning Esports just able to brute force their way in, just straight up winning those duels. And Aster Army, they're just falling apart on their faces. I like this capitalization from them, pushing up all the way deep into A man. Pretty much replicating what Reckoning Esports try to do against them, but I highly doubt it's going to work out that well, considering Woya's got his hands on the Seekers, and soon enough he's going to probably use it. So those Seekers will give away Winks' position. Good paint shields to try and deny the push, at least for a little bit more. Just bars off a little bit more time. But
still there.
Yeah, he's still there. And now finally the Seekers will be popped. Oh, Wink is so screwed.
Is he though?
Yep.
He'll try to take down at least one, but that's what happens when you come in too hard. Aster Army, all of them playing outside of that link door, and that Deadly's Q to begin the flank. He's timed it perfectly.
My double's dead.
What are those flicks? From one player to the other, one after the other one, the graves are being dug, and they're being buried alive. Lockdown was initiated on a B site, but that's not going to change anything. It's not going to stop the floodgates of Reckoning Esports. They're opened up, and they will keep on pushing. Keep on penetrating through those sites, through the defensive vaults that are being trying to build up by Aster Army. And their walls are not strong enough to hold down the players of Reckoning Esports. The spike goes down, and it's a 1-on-3. Dominic all by himself to keep his team streams alive inside this map. But as you said, map 3 is inevitable.
I think this is the moment where Dominic goes for one of those desperate teleport plays. He's got both smokes at his disposal. No paranoia, though. The Viper ball's about to go down. He needs to time this perfectly. Luckily, there's nobody waiting on the other side of it. No, but he caught. Master catches him as the smoke fades away. And that's lights out. Reckoning Esports can finally breathe a sigh of relief. We are going to map number 3.
Even though they won, but you can see they're not that happy. They're feeling the nerves. Look at Flabin, he's taking deep breaths. They are indeed feeling the nerves. The heat's being amped up inside the arena. Even though the ACs are on, I'm pretty sure their palms are sweating. Look at his forehead. It's quite glowing, man. That can tell you guys the amount of pressure these guys are facing, but still able to win it that way. Looking quite solid. Lotus was completely one-sided. We're on the attacking side. Reckoning Esports were just brute forcing their way in, asserting the dominance on whatever side they wanted, and they got the controls in the hand quite easily. And Aster Army, on the other hand, we're not really seeing a lot of smiles on their faces because they know it's game time on the 3rd map, baby.
It is game time. Aster Army have never been that strong on Lotus, and Reckoning used it to their fullest advantage.
Yeah.
This would have been a 2-0. At least that's what Voya indicated when he walked out onto the stage. But map number 3 it is, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be going to the next map shortly after this break.
Hit for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the bench, I get it in.
I know my destiny.
on the map of Haven. So let's see. They are able to take down a team like Aster Army, who's been proven out to be a kryptonite so far for them inside the VCSA group stage, and even in the playoffs, they're giving them quite a tough run. With that being said, welcome back the YouTube audience to Valorant Challenger South Asia as we do move on forward towards the decider map of Haven. We're gonna stumble across the Asian select in front of us. Nothing much out of the ordinary, but hold on, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Voya with a Phoenix? That's a classic comp.
There you have it. I was waiting for a twist. I knew that Reckoning will do something weird, but even I must say, I never saw the Phoenix coming.
Wait, this just reminded me of Lethal Esports.
Did it end well for them?
Remember their Haven match?
Yeah, but did it end well for them?
It did, yeah, they won that map.
But by a tiny margin, by a hair's breadth.
I mean, hey, man. Ascent was quite a close one, too. Aster Army, they're prepared, bro.
And this is quite a risk to be taking, especially when you are facing elimination. The team that loses this match is going home. The team that wins carries forward in the lower bracket of Valorant Challenger South Asia. This is as good as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. Brace yourself.
Here we go. Fiery start already. Phoenix Pop Flash will peek outside the garage and will also be able to get a decent amount of information. But now the players of Aster Army, they decide to fall back because they know the position's compromised. So it's time to reposition yourself and find yourself in better spots now. Voya on that Phoenix is definitely going to be quite a huge menace because he is one of those fraggers on the team. Even though he doesn't really play that duelist role, he has been quite aggressive sometimes.
Alright, now this is starting to give me just a little bit of anxiety. Yeah, just a tiny teensy bit. Mars is on A by himself. But Aster Army still have Kishi right outside of garage. They've still got Kohli, who just about fell back from being started to go in. The flank gets caught. Voya gets the better of him. And now the retake begins. There's an advantage in the favor of Reckoning.
Nicely done. Look at the flank. There's 3 players positioned onto that. And Kohli, you better not challenge that. There's 3 players on the mark, just willing to take you down. And it's going to be a split. One player to taking a look at the underpass area, while the rest 2 are trying to make it from the long. And Master gets 2 for himself. He's going quite monstrous inside this entire BO3 series. The shock dart actually is so perfect from Master. Shuts down Doxer, and Voya from the back is able to capitalize.
Yeah, Master going berserk in this round. Great opening frags. And I don't even blame Aster Army for trying to play aggressively towards that defender spawn entrance. They had the man disadvantage. If they just wait in the site and hope that the trades will go in their favor, they will be fooling themselves. So they might as well just try to take a risk and neutralize that advantage. But it backfired on them so hard. Master is looking clean today.
Yeah, Master's having a good time today. He's stepped up by margin. And speak of Reckoning Esports, at least they're able to start off on a good note, right? Able to get the pistol round in the hand, and it's going to be a force from the opponents as well. You really do not want to let the second round go away in the opponent's hands. Aster Army, quite an interesting decision to be made from them, but Hirsch has now pushed himself in quite an off-angle position. There's a blast, but unfortunately, he's not going to get caught into that. There's now the flanks being activated too. Reckoning Esports, they're going to stick the defense, but the defense is coming through, but instantly deactivated as well. The flank's now going to be activated from Reckoning, and players now start to fall down left, right, and center, and we're down a one-on-one scenario.
This was way too
So
close.
chaotic.
Yeah, I know, right? All of a sudden, everybody's dead. Aster Army just stopped fighting on all cylinders, and now Kohli's got the weaponry as well. Oh, Master's given away the sound cue. Kohli knows where he is. Time is running out. Master just needs to keep himself alive for a second. Kohli's just denying everything, man. Kohli playing for time perfectly.
A massive round, a massive W. That force by working out in their hands. Aster Army, a well-thought decision being made and also able to catch it off guard. And Reckoning Esports, they sort of started to get the grip back inside the round, but Aster Army, they shut it down.
All the pistol momentum stolen away from Reckoning.
Here.
Like thieves in the night, Aster may get away with their win, and now look at the commitment. Wink dashes straight inside into the face of Harsh, and he decapitates it.
Oh my God.
Around the smoke. A very good decision from him. That's the best that he could have done given the weaponry he had. And he's repelled away the attackers.
Yeah, but they gave away their guns. A Bulldog and a Spectre retrieve. That can prove out to be a nightmare. It's a 3-on-3 situation. Even though Aster Army, they've got a Phantom and a Vandal on the board for themselves, that should give a little bit of edge. But you can never say in these rounds what can happen. And Voya's already starting to push up C long. He's gathered so much map control and so much intel that Aster Army will need to try and make things really quick. They will need a brute force soon enough. And Voya will start to move up from the back lines. The footsteps are now going to be given away. Voya's position's known. And there's a man in window just waiting for this hit. Just waiting for him to funnel in. Look at Deadly 10. He's going to get greeted soon enough by 2 players onto his face. They get the link control and they fall back to the B side once again.
Aster Army have the advantage this time around, but it can be easily neutralized if Voya wins this 1v1 against Doxer. He's the only one playing deep towards mid. The remaining Aster members playing in the side itself, but Doxer holds on. This should be the end of the round. This should be Master falling back and respecting Aster. Oh, but he doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to peek the turret either. Watch out Doxer, and that's his cue. Yeah, the fault line in his face. No way to avoid that. Hey, even though Aster Army lose quite a lot of their guns, at least the expensive ones are still there.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. And now Master has also got his hands on the Hunter's Fury.
Deadly's
I
got
mean,
the
if he wants, it can be used in so many different ways to either check out the basic angles just to make sure that the opponents are not defaulting, or it can be used to deny a spike plant.
Spike plants now could be of great value. Reckoning Esports have been able to go for these retakes quite nicely and very chaotically. Oh, wait. It's pulled back by the Cypher Trap and nobody breaks it.
He's so lucky to be alive. Luckily enough for him that the site wasn't really given away. And there was no one holding in the close quarters. Look at Aster Army. They funnel through. They hope floodgates are open. And Seaside's taken in their hands now. Good curveball, but it's not going to find value.
Coley just barraging through. Cyber Cage didn't keep Harsh alive. The flash didn't give Voya any sort of an advantage. And now there's a duck cover in their face, which is just keeping them away. Boiling down so much time. They can't even challenge it. It's a one-way. Reckoning against their will are forced to fall back, forced to respect this hold that Aster Army have on the seaside, this vice grip. The silver lining is that the op's still alive, and maybe in another life, Deadly 10 will be able to find value for it. This time, they didn't even face him. They didn't even have to fire a single shot.
Yeah, Doxer gets neutralized, but
That's okay.
it's okay. Still 4 guns saved. They're pretty much good. Aster Army, damn, they've got 2 rounds lead. This might just be a start of something great.
Voya's got to run it back. That's what you need to be scared of. Most of the Phoenixes get their ults up in 3rd or 4th round. This is the 5th one, so you might as well use it now.
Get out of my way!
Keep in mind, Aster Army also have some really cool ultimates. If Doxer manages to figure out where Voya has figured his run it back, he can ult him and get the kill for free. Once again, the stun comes through. And then Hunter's Fury now committed to clear out anyone who's holding in the back lines. Flabin tries to dodge the laser, but the teleport isn't fast enough. Doxer with both of those kills has cleared out the seaside momentarily, but Reckoning have already rotated.
Yeah, look at the flank. Look at the lurk from Kishi. He's going to manage to get the side control without someone even noticing it, and he's going to probably position himself as deep as possible to deny the control back from the defenders. Master has managed to rotate, and slowly and steadily the entire team is going to try to rotate on the side as well. Molly's thrown just to make sure that the spike plant's being denied, but it's a little too late. Not exactly on the time. Coley, good fault line. Gonna stun out the players a little bit. but those 2 nano swarms are now going to be proven out to be a huge nightmare because that's going to buy so much time.
This would have been a great time to use the run it back, but it's already gone. Not much value found off of it. Oh, but they're challenging Reckoning. What? Holy, he's been hitting some nutty flicks like these. And this is not the first time we've seen him pull this off. He did this in Lotus as well.
It's just all about comfort. And just to let every single viewer know once again, this is a fight for the survival, ladies and gentlemen. Whichever team wins out this matchup will continue their journey inside the split one of VCSA. And whichever team loses this one will be knocked out from the lower brackets.
Reckoning. Feeling a lot of pressure once again on Eagles. Deadly just gets the orb. And now the Blade Storm's online. No opportunity given to him, and now he's stunned up. Launched into the air, yeeted to oblivion, and Bink is gonna updraft once again to get the better of him, but an unfortunate attack lets Master a free kill, and Warrior scoring insane!
Down A.
What on earth was this? We need to see it from his perspective. Those were some stylish frags. And Kishi left wondering, where did it all go wrong? Dodges the curveball, but he can't dodge that.
Oh my god.
Warrior
what?
manifesting the Grim Reaper.
That's a definition of a godly play. When his team is crumbling down, when things are falling apart, the man steps up like a god. Just bringing another lifeline for his team. And that was a thrifty round 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And thrifties have been one of the biggest rounds so far. And after a thrifty, you eventually or probably do see a huge turnaround in the scoreboard. Let's see if that's going to happen once again or not.
Warrior is performing like a god, but Dominic wants to be the demon. Deadly, a very uncharacteristic miss. And Dominic's given another lifeline, but they're just peppering him full of bullets. He almost died over there. It's relegated to 8 HP, but that's much better than expected. At least he gets to live to fight another day. His teammates got into the A side just in time to rescue him.
Dominic's ready with the paranoia. As soon as the call's going to be made, Dominic will probably try to flush him out with the paranoia and try and delay a little bit more time to get this take possible. Voya is ready with the curveball. Curveball initiated. The operator peeks out. Traits are starting to happen back and forth, but no. Instead, it's Aster Army who makes the body fall down off Reckoning Esports. And Flabin left all by himself to make a save happen. We thought that it might just be momentum breakers, but no. Aster Army, their morals are not that easy to break.
Their morals are not that easy to break, and that is proven by the fact that Dominic can stick that. Deadly had the opportunity to shut him down, but he misses the first shot. Then his teammates start to help him out by spamming at Dominic. They ate away most of his HP with the wall bangs. But they couldn't stay there and continue spamming because the rest of Aster Army was already invading the site. And Dominic, with that really bold teleport, forces Reckoning to either stay in the site and die or relegate it for a retake. They choose the latter, hoping that they would have the utility to make it happen, but that was just simply not the case. And after that thrifty that Reckoning were able to get on board, all that momentum's down the drain once again.
Oh, Reckoning Esports, they're starting to get impatient as they're losing out these rounds. A run it back was used and Voya being shut down. But he's quite close. That's what they don't exactly know. Kish Holy pushed up quite deep. He manages to get the kill, but there's also a trade on the other side. So things are equalized. Flabin's push is known as well. But Dominic is in quite an unexpected angle. Uses the paranoia to try and clear the man out. The paranoia is not going to catch him, but it doesn't matter. Dominic still eventually wins that duel. And that could prove out to be a massive duel as well. Seaside take is on the way, and Hirsch is in the back lines. Finds the teleport and manages to line the players up in the front, but Dominic still somehow is making so many things happen with only 30 HP.
Recon's not broken. That allows Voya to spam Dominic out. That's a freebie. Aster cannot afford to give away too many frags like these, but luckily for them, Kohli has already infiltrated the B site.
30 seconds left.
He can clear a path for Wink to go all the way to a day. Because from this position, Kohli can hear all the rotations that Reckoning are making, and since he doesn't hear anything, it's a clear indication that they're taking the sweet time, they're walking across. It's a plant for CT.
Spike planted.
Voya spots out Kohli. Now the flank's detected. Kohli's trapped in an island. He needs to be saved by
Last
Wink.
player
The fault line
standing.
dodged, but Voya dies regardless. And Wink steps up yet again.
Dude, Aster Army, whenever it's a map where they're well familiar, the confidence just look like something else. Whatever decisions they make, it always pans out in their favor. And Reckoning Esports, they're really not able to read into this. Look at this push from Kohli. It was so bold. Even though he knew there could be more than one player just available there, but he was just so stubborn into getting that trade for his team. And then Aster Army able to fiddle with the enemy mines, making those rotations at the last second. As I said, Reckoning Esports just aren't able to read into the playbook because the playbook is just so massive.
No, I mean, even though Reckoning can read into it, they can't really do anything about it. The rotations towards the seaside were on point. They were on time.
You should run.
Yet, they couldn't make it. They repel Aster Army away towards the A side, but then they win again. Now the lockdown forcing them to respect the site. Give it up.
Going out.
There's already a backstab in the works, but Kishi detects it.
Alarm bot out.
As long as the backstab's found, that's all that's gonna matter. Wink able to shut down the first one, but do they know their second man cooking up right then and there? And yes, they do! Aster Army once again! It's a domino effect for Reckoning Esports. One player falls down, and the second one will follow it up instantly. They're not really able to find that sweet spot, but Hirsch, that was a good flick, but that's all he's gonna get. The utility utilization from Aster is just so nice. We're not really seeing a lot of those dry peaks from them.
Nothing seems to be working for Reckoning Esports. At least in the previous round, there was some resistance towards C, which then forced Aster Army to go A. And Aster Army has been fairly successful on these A holds. Reckoning haven't really been able to retake this often. So Aster Army are just going to keep exploiting the A side again and again until Reckoning are finally able to break this curse. Finally able to retake A successfully. Until then, Aster Army will use it like their bread and butter. And oh boy, they're getting fed up. Alright then. Just spot out the Phoenix, but it gets shot down by Deadly 10 before there's a chance, and now Warrior activates himself. That was the chance they were looking for, and they got it.
Kohli sneaking up deep, a good flick. Flick of the wrist to shut down the man who's pushing up a little bit too deep this time. And Reckoning Esports, the B side controls given away. Deadly 10 quite close with the operator. This might just prove out to be a huge nightmare. Kishi able to shut down the op in the clotheslines, and Spike's already down in mid. Nothing much can be done in that round, but it's 7-3 scoreline.
That's what you needed. First, they spot the op towards the C site with the drone. The drone gets broken, so Phoenix position isn't revealed. Goya is able to get a nice flash kill with Dominic. And then the op repositions itself towards Garage again, just in time to stop Kohli from sneaking in. Flabin, even though he got just one kill of this round, he did really well because Aster Army were trying actively to avoid the op.
Get out of my way.
And in the process of doing so, they walked right into the traps.
10. Once again, aggressive with the op, able to catch one, gets the second one as well. A quick readjustment. And Hirsch able to follow it up with the third one. Aster Army now this time, they themselves are crumbling apart. Not able to win those duels. Doctor able to at least find one, but that's all he's going to get. The instant capitalization is there from the opponents. They're able to retaliate so quickly. But Deadly 10 always so quick with the readjustments with the op. He goes huge for his team.
He always does, man. He always does. I accidentally called Deadly 10 Flavin last round, so that was my bad. Although, you get the idea, right? The op has been a nightmare for Aster Army. It finally takes this big gun to stop Aster Army in their tracks, because before this op was online, Aster Army were having their lay of the land. 2 rounds chained together back to back. This might just be what Reckoning need. And look at the amount of ultimates they've got now.
I am the hunter.
Oh, you better run. You better run from this man's big bow. Oh, dodged it. Quite nice. Just a little bit of damage onto Harsh.
Whenever Aster Army try to amp up the pace, they've got countered pretty easily. So this time, they're trying to bring a little variation in the pace. Trying to slow things down, respecting their opponents, because they know if you're going to take the fight straight up to them, they're not really able to win out those quick duels. And especially when they know that their opponent's operator so far has found its prime, you do not really want to go ahead and ego challenge that.
The shock dart from Doxer breaks the tripwire on B. But that's not a problem because Deadly's holding this region. The rest of Cypher utility is on Garage and C respectively. A is being passively held by Master. Oh, wink, a fake dash. Dashes into the corner rather than on top of the smoke, but that's
30
okay
seconds
because
left.
Voya, his ultimate has been dealt with. Trolley being killed, that's another massive initiator missing on Aster Army, so now they can't brute force their way into a site. But luckily, they don't have to. A is clear.
Reckoning Esports to teleport on top. Could have been quite successful. The Parano was there on the point, but Doxer somehow is able to shut the player down in the front. Knife Swift! And Wink comes out on top in that duel. That was quite a critical duel too. But unfortunately not able to win that. From the shadows utilized, and Voya doesn't exactly know where the man's teleported towards. Curveball was on the point, but Dominic able to sneak away through that. And Masters and Hirsch. Hirsch from the back lines was able to cook. And now the flank being spotted. Should be shut down soon enough. There's a close man in the proximity, but will be taken care. But it doesn't matter. They're playing off of each other so well.
Switching
That is
sides.
true. Aster Army, whenever they play it slowly, whenever they make Reckoning Esports overthink, that's when they're able to get the rounds in the bag. If these Reckoning have one strength, they can hold on to these brute force attacks by Aster Army, and that's something. If this is the case, then there's a small chance that Reckoning will also be able to hold on to the retake situations going into the second half, but in order to find that out, we will have to wait just a little bit.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Presenting Hyundai i20N line. It's time to play.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Came off the beach, I get it in.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, after that short commercial break, and working ahead on forward to the second half. So far, the first half is in the favor of Aster Army, and Reckoning Esports, they might just start to feel their nerves. They know how much this pistol rounds matter to them. It's an 8-4 half, but if Aster Army is able to win this pistol round, then things will definitely fall apart for Reckoning.
Pistol round, definitely needed. And we know that Reckoning, at least on the defensive half, they can deal with the high pace attacks. So if they can get their hands on the site, it kind of means that Aster Army can't brute force their way into a retake situation. So they might as well just try to hold off on first contact. Recon sent onto Garage, but Reckoning are committing quite quickly towards the B site. Smoke's already deployed towards ceiling, but not on A. It kind of indicates that Reckoning want to fight over here. They might even try to go A link if they get the opportunity. But the spike itself, it's not inside yet. They're waiting for Deadly to make a move, waiting for him to make contact and maybe get a frag or two.
my God,
But
not a good
Kishi is able to get the better of him.
Initial duel won, man advantage lost. Aster Army able to win that. Not a good news for Reckoning Esports. They're fighting for the lifeline inside VCSA Split 1. If they lose this matchup, they're going to pretty much lose out the spot as well. They will be knocked out of this tournament. how important this pistol round is. They probably do realize, and Deadly 10 steps up huge like a hero. He's indeed a Superman.
Superman performance from Deadly 10. You can feel the cape behind him get some wind as he now starts to float up in the sky.
One enemy
Juicy
remaining.
shots, dude. This Ghost in his hands, it's nothing short of a cannon.
Here.
Let's see how strong that cape is.
Scanning ahead.
Is it a cape made out of tissue papers? Or real cape material?
Try throwing some water on it, you'll find out.
Well, I mean, it's a quick stroll on the site. They've got the site control, got the plant, fell back as well. And everyone's going to play off of the post plans because now they know Aster Army, they've got some close range guns, and you do not really want to face that. Aftershock utilized. Master being forced out of his comfort spot. Shock darts are going to be used as well just to make sure that they're really forcing out the players from that defuse. 1 HP in the hands of Wink will not survive. Will be capitalized and compromised. Hirsch in the close quarters goes huge, and this proximity is not working out that well for Aster Army. Speaking of proximity, imagine if there was a proximity chat in Valorant.
Do not even go down that road. What proximity do you want? It's a tiny map. It's not like a BR game where there's miles and miles of dry land between you and the next opponent.
But still, imagine.
Okay, I'm not gonna entertain that thought. But you have to appreciate how boldly and fearlessly Reckoning Esports moved into the B site. Like, they didn't even wait for the smokes to properly bloom. They just used the cloudburst and Deadly 10, and he just dashed in. Not dashing, but you get what I'm trying to say. Went for the spike plant instantly. Wink though, like super aggressively. He's playing anti-flash, hoping to dodge something. He knows that Voya's not deep in towards a short, so they might be aware about his position, but his dash is about to run out, so no escape for him. Now this is gonna be a full commitment. He lets Master sneak by. Information gathered, but he doesn't want to make a move just yet.
Yeah, he's trying to play the patience game. And I don't think so. He spotted Master sneak by too. Look at Flabin in the close copy. Will catch Dominic off guard. And now this is where a domino effect might just come true as well. Wink is quite low. He doesn't even have a dash available, so he'll need to fall back, and that's what he exactly does. At least they found the equalizer. It's a 3-on-4 scenario. Advantage in the hands of Aster Army. They've also got the better weaponry, but Wink is softened up.
Making too much noise on Garage. Aster Army have already rotated accordingly.
30 seconds left.
Wait, but are Aster actually gonna fall for this? I don't think that's enough. Making just that much noise on Garage is not gonna be enough to sell the fake, but maybe Voya can thread the needle. Nah, Wink is just too aware about this one. And now a lot of sound being made.
Scanning ahead.
Doxers knows this.
10 seconds
All
left.
he needs to do is
One enemy
deny the
remaining.
spike plant, and he's got another kill. Flabin's gonna get shut down, but actually survives this one. Yeah, but what are you gonna do after surviving, man? You ran out of time. The best that you can do is sneak away with a Phantom. And that's it. Aster Army win the round by running the clock down.
Aster Army, even in the second half, at least they're able to win this round. Something that they really needed.
10 seconds left. One
They've
enemy remaining.
got the weapons advantage, yeah, but that was still a decent bonus round from the opponents. They should have a decent amount of money to move on forward and buy the guns as well. We do see a tactical timeout being pulled out. Reckoning Esports' coach is definitely having a lot of thoughts to share with his teammates, but on the other hand, Aster Army, their coach is having some calm talks given away. He knows his team is playing to its fullest potential, and they're doing quite a good job so far.
Yeah, but they still need to step it up. The contact plays for Reckoning so far have been quite nice. But when those contact plays don't really work for them and they have to adjust in the mid-round situation, they're not really able to fool Aster Army. And even if they try to make one of those complex maneuvers by trying to fake and go elsewhere, they end up running out of time. So Aster Army don't even feel the need to play super aggressively. Even when they do, it's mostly just Wink extending ahead. And I say extending, not overextending, because he almost always has backup. But that's just been 3 rounds so far, so maybe it's too soon to pass on any judgment. Things can change, and most likely they will. Fault line being primed up by Toli. This will most probably set up Wink for a peek. And this peek has to be perfect because Voya is already inbound. Now it comes through. Voya doesn't have a chance, and Wink sneaks past for the kill.
Retrieved the spike.
That's a quick pick,
Right
man.
Here.
And Reckoning Esports, they're just giving these first bloods away. The man advantages are being given away too. Let's see how well they're able to convert that sacrifice that was being made towards the A site. No one available on the C side, so it's going to be a quick stroll on the C side as well. Not much to be worried about, not a lot of threat available, but soon enough it's just going to be a complete utility dump. I'm pretty sure it's going to turn out to be all-out chaos. Good paranoia to try and nullify the man in the close lines. Dominic still managed to find one! Able to retaliate back as well, but Deadly 10, he steps up huge once again. This man is not losing out on those duels. That is really helping his teammate out, but Aster Army, they play off of each other perfectly.
Scanning ahead.
Master versus Master, and he's all by himself. Shotgun softening him up, and there goes all hope. Aster Army get double digits. I can't even blame them for trying. Reckoning tried to play aggressively towards Garage because they knew that if they just hold passively towards C long, and if they just try to trade, the superior numbers on Aster Army will obviously net them the win. So Deadly tries to go in super aggressively, hoping to catch people off guard, and he did manage to get a lot of kills, which could have turned the tide. But once again, the numbers were just too great on Aster Army. They got overwhelmed. Deadly with a double kill kept the hope alive, but then Doxter's timing caught him off guard. Wait, I'm not sure if it was Doxter or Dominic anymore, but honestly, it doesn't matter at this point.
Get out of my way!
Aster Army have forced Reckoning down to an eco. That too, and they're on double digits. Not the situation Reckoning would want it to. Not the situation Reckoning would want to find themselves in. But hold on a second. Look at Kishi's alarm bot position.
Hey.
It's way too deep inside mid. From this spot, the shock darts that Master is using, those shock darts won't be enough to break the alarm bot. And it gives Aster Army a lot of early info.
10 and his teammates are now going to start to move up. They've given away a lot of foot cues, that's for sure, but Aster Army still are not really falling for that bait. There's only one man playing towards A, and that's in the name of Doxer. And he's only playing for that contact play. As soon as he spots anyone, he will probably fall back and wait for his teammates to rotate in. He's got a Hunter's Fury available, so he can definitely buy some more time by denying that spike plant. And he definitely does catch a little bit of hurt. Deadly 10 instead, though, is going to try to sneak in quite deep. He's got the knives activated, and he's being expected, but still he manages to find that kill.
The flank from Kishi is going to get red. This trap fire. But hold on. Even after the flank was detected, Flavin died, so he's turned it into a 4v4. That's all they needed. And now he can continue putting pressure over here. This draws away Harsh and Master away from the site itself, which leaves Voya all by himself. And he's still able to get a kill. Finally, Coley deals with it. Wink playing inside the smoke, right clicks, and just pumps Harsh's guts full of blades. And the timing catches Master too. Wink is insane, man. He is absolutely on fire.
Dude, Wink is turned into demon mode inside the playoffs.
He needs the demon mode to counter the godlike performance from Hoya. Only the fallen angel
Deadly
can deal with the father.
Oh, man. This is definitely going to be quite a huge heartbreaker if Reckoning Esports do lose out. I mean, Aster Army, with the way they're playing, they're definitely doing a fantastic job, but Reckoning Esports, man, they've got some young faces, young talents like Deadly 10. For them, this can be a huge heartbreaker.
Definitely. Not just a heartbreaker, but also a streak breaker. They had a massive win streak on Lotus, and now it just seems like Aster Army are returning the favor. Hunter's Fury by Doxter. It doesn't catch anyone, but look at Aster Army's push towards mid. They're already on the flank. Harsh is supposed to mock this, but he can't survive a double swing. He can't even survive the first contact. And now Warrior, his run-it back has been sent away, sent packing. He's supposed to hold on to the backstab, and he does. Warrior manages to keep the hope alive. He can now battle into the A site, where Kishi's already looking to stop the blunt. The shock darts gets a kill onto
enemy
Master.
remaining.
Kishi
Oh my
trades
God.
it out.
Hey.
It's all up to Warrior. The man who made it look possible now has to make it all on his own.
The quick adjustments all the time. The patches are so perfect. And Aster Army, they also seal the map point. Reckoning Esports, the lifeline fading away. And a map point for the opponent, and also the series point. And it seems like it is a complete one-sided affair. And the KO seems inevitable of Reckoning Esports.
Reckoning on the verge of being sent home, of being sent packing from the tournament. They showed so much promise in the group stage. They were the teams that we thought would be able to take down the Kings. And their performance was immense. It was very entertaining to see them play as well because their innovations were on point. And if they go home today, this tournament would be robbed of some really talented players. But Aster Army are not going to regret doing that. They want to deliver the finishing blow. Reckoning, making a contact play towards the A side. The turret will give away their position, and that's Doxer's cue to send in that recon dart. He actually didn't do it. If he sent the recon, he probably could have gotten a kill with the Odin.
First
Spike
teammates though.
planted.
Now finally he will. As soon as the teammates are sort of close to the site, he will probably try and put the recon dart in, but he was destroyed before the scan even went down. Doxer now will at least try to get attack secured with the drone, but no, it's going to be answered. He doesn't even find attack with the drone, and now there's a flood on the site. The floodgates are open. Wink is going to dash away in the site, and Reckoning Esports, they start to line these bodies up. Wink is going to be the last man alive, and Reckoning Esports, they keep the heart pumping.
Contact play works out for them. Reckoning have now found the chink in Aster Army's armor. These contact plays, I'm just surprised they didn't use them before, because most of the time Aster Army leave A site vacant. They leave Doxer to play very passively, either towards the defender spawn or in heaven. And Doxer's only job is to get one pick and then fall back. If he doesn't get that, he'll just fall back regardless. So Reckoning can almost always get the A side under control if Aster Army's not heavy sacking it. And I said that because in this round they are. Doxer has an Odin? I'm sorry, not Odin, the Ares? That's interesting. I don't think I've seen him pick up the Ares that much before. But he won't get to use it because, once again, Reckoning will get the C side for free.
Watch your eyes!
Boy, once again, Reckoning Esports, they've amped up the heat, they've amped up the pace as well to get the site control down, but usually these retakes are really possible from Aster Army, and they've proven that over and over again. But it's broken buys from their side, so Aster Army will try to take things a little slow this time. At least try and deal as much damage as possible, that's for sure. Sheriffs and an Ares and a Spectre in the hand. They've got the ultimate available too, a Rolling Thunder, but I highly doubt they're going to try to use the Rolling Thunder inside the Seco. Tripwire broken. Deadly 10 manages to find Doxer in the front. And Kishi connects a nice shot, and Hirsch in an off angle.
One enemy remaining.
Oh well, at least for now, Deadly 10 can keep the hope alive. He will just try to run away with the gun, and he's farming up quite a lot of frags on the way.
One
Can
enemy
Harsh finally
remaining.
stop him? No, he cannot. I mean, it doesn't matter if Goldie stays alive or not. He's done more than enough economic damage. And now Reckoning will feel the heat. Keep in mind that Reckoning don't just need to win every single round in order to get to overtime. They also need to keep their economy healthy, because one single slip up and they will find themselves staring at the brutal end of an eco. The wrong end of the battle. And that's when Aster Army will deliver the finishing blow.
Flabben's got 5,000 credits, and if this comeback is made possible, it can be the best comeback in the history of VCSA.
More impressive than True Ripper's comeback?
I mean,
One can hope.
Joke's over! You're
I guess
dead.
it will be one of the best. I guess that's the way to say it.
Watch your eyes!
But Reckoning Esports, they're just putting a lot of pressure on this C side over and over again. Run it back was used, but no value found. At least he managed to create a lot of space, and that was actually a fake. Instead, the rest of the team is now going to start to move over towards the A side, and Wink is there. He's got a lot of sound cues for himself. The Paranoia is not going to catch Wink, and he might just have a nice angle for himself, but unfortunately, he gets stunned by his own teammate.
Or at least his teammate tries to make it up with the Rolling Thunder, but Flavin's waiting in the smoke. The Dweller in the Darkness will finally bring forth the light. Doxer will try to go for the fight, but it's not going to get him anything else.
Reckoning Esports, you can already imagine the amount of nerves this team is going to be feeling. A tactical timeout even being called from the side of Aster. Because now it's their eco round. And there's a high chance for Reckoning Esports where they'll probably get this round solidified. There's a high chance, as I said. Look at the amount of info that's been written down in the coach's book of Reckoning Esports. His book is just filled up with info.
And it's the kind of nervous scribbling you do when you don't have time to write full coherent sentences, probably. I guess all the info that he's written down preemptively in that notebook will also be of some use now. This was quite a creative fake from Reckoning. Used to run it back to its C, but nobody follows up on the back of it, so Asterami figured out it's gonna be an A hit. Wink is in position to stop it. Unfortunately, that also isn't enough. And the Rolling Thunder that was used by Asterami was actually quite nice. If it wasn't for Flabbit inside the smoke, this round would have been over before it even began. And Asterami would have probably sealed the deal on this one. But now they find themselves on an eco. There's a Bucky on Doc, so that's interesting.
Here.
Oh man, broken buys now once again. Stingers, light armors. Hope for the best. Buy as much as you can. Things for sure. Oh, okay. I was trying to say something, but that play made me eat my words. A quick, aggressive start towards mid. Wink gets spotted into mid, but that's not going to stop this man from taking all the risk possible. And he's still getting tacked up by that Cypher camp. But eventually will be taken care of.
So he's found his value. The Bladestorm net them 1 kill, and that was onto Warrior, one of the most important players for the team. Now they're going to highway it towards the A side yet again. The alarm box was shot down at a very long distance, but Kishi can't be shot down. He's the one delivering death and destruction.
Oh, what?
Doubling up. This might just be the end. Deadly can try to save, but he's going to burn alive. The Nanoswarm's eating him up whole, and Flabbin has the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's the only man who can save his team from certain elimination.
1 on 3, Flabbin, a lot of pressure and a lot of burn on his shoulders. A lot of eyes looking up to him right now. Every single supporter inside the arena of Reckoning Esports is looking up to Flabbin because it's all down to him. But it's a thrifty, converted into win, and also seal the deal on the map. Aster Army, they reign huge on the final map, and they seal the deal in the series, knocking out Reckoning Esports off the split one of VCSA. But as we have touched upon this in the past too, Reckoning Esports, don't let this map or don't let this entire matchup be the morale downer for you guys. Keep your heads up, and we'll see you guys in the split too.
Reckoning Esports definitely more impressive throughout the tournament. Their plays made it seem so fresh. The early days of Reckoning Esports was full of experiments and bold new ventures, all of which either gave us some spectacular wins or some visually impressive matches. And no matter how bad this loss was, Reckoning Esports can still hold their head up high as one of the best teams in VCSA. It's an early exit for them. Emotions run high as Reckoning now look to a bleak future. A future where they are not in the VCSA Split 1. We will definitely see them in Split 2. But look at all the happy memories they've given us. Look at the pedestal they've put up Deadly 10 on. The emotions that Flabbin made us feel with his dancing and his joyous nature also will be heavily missed. But this is the day where we celebrate Aster Army and their indomitable spirit.
Reckoning Esports is indeed a star-studded lineup, and I think so. All they need is a little bit more time with each other, and they can be a dominable force in South Asia. As we all know, we'll probably see them in the split 2 as well, but Aster Army, what a way to shut down the giants of the South Asia. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to push to a short break. We'll be right back.
Hit for my wins, I need my hands. This life is real, can't play pretend. Hit most of it, I get it in. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and say sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up, way up, pray up. On track, now we gon' way up, way up. Now we gon' way up, now we going. On track, now we gon' way Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage and they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 C's. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this is 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we going way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up, pray up. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. On track, now we going way up. Going way up. Now we going way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. I put that on my name, that I put them on. I put myself on stage as they sing along. I might book a session, do 100 songs. I'ma let you hear them just to prove you wrong.